is, and I know how precious it is. So I'm going to make sure my whole mission right now is to add as much value as I possibly can. And I promise you, you stick through this all the way to the end, you're going to see stuff you've never seen before. And as John said, this is what I do. This is what I actually do and I've done for the past 6 years, and I'm pretty well known for it. I don't do anything else. So these are tried and true things on here. So let me give you, where's my clicker? Okay, so let me just back up here. So this is my business model right here. This is it. It's a simple 3-stage process. First thing, I'm going to build some websites on here, but it's just one website. I call it a master domain website. It's very unique, and it ranks in over 300 to 400 cities with just a couple of backlinks. I'll show you exactly how I do that. I'm going to pull back the curtains and everything. Nothing's going to be held back. And then on those local websites, those lead sites that I put out there, I've got a tracking number on there. Someone calls it, tracking number automatically forwards it to a local business, and that's how I make my money. It's really simple on that. So let me give you a quick overview of exactly what we're going to go over. This is going to be a short and powerful informational webinar on here. I'm going to give a quick 3-minute intro on here. Then I'm going to show you my exact site structure that literally makes me over $1 million per month. It makes my company $1 million per month. That sounds really hypey, but you're going to see all the proof and the facts in just a second here. Then I'm going to show you a case study. I'm going to show you an actual website. If we have time, I'll show you 2 on here that are ranking on page 1 in over 300 plus cities, and most of them have no backlinks, and this is completely white hat on here. And then I'm going to show you these things that I'm going to teach you, and then I'm going to show you a recent niche we just got into. It's in 6 unknown little cities. I'm showing you exactly how much we're making off of that on here. And then I'm going to reveal my only 2 sources of backlinks. I make this business model super simple, super clean on here. I've never had to worry about any of the SEO, algorithm change, none of that kind of stuff. And you're going to understand why in a second on here. And then I'm going to show you my proprietary method for getting clients with 0 cold calling, no emails, no ads, no nothing. And I know that sounds kind of hypey, but just wait until I get the details in there. You'll understand why. It's a brilliant business model on here. And I'm just going to recap, and I'm going to stick around and answer all your questions. It's really that simple, so let's get rock and roll on here. Little intro on here. My whole kind of life story is really all about change. That person on the left was me for the first 41 years of my life. On here, I'm now 50 years old. That's me on the right-hand side there. And I'm going to tell you, that person on the left side led some miserable 41 years on that end of it. I used to live in the back seat of this 1982 Mercedes here. That was it right there. Things changed for me one night. One night I was in the back seat of my little mobile home here, and I was outside of the Starbucks. It was like 2 in the morning. And the reason I was out front of it is so I could get their free Wi-Fi. And I was going through the internet, and I found a contest by Bill Phillips called Body for Life. And first prize was $50,000, and you'd win if you've seen those before and after photos where really big fat people and they get all trim and muscular. That's the kind of contest it was. So I thought, what the heck? I was really fat at the time. So I actually ended up winning the contest. And because of that, that's really kind of where my entire life changed. I always say that my life started and ended right when I met Bill Phillips, and I won that contest. I ended up getting a lot of publicity because of it. This was the cover of the book. It was a transformation, New York Times bestseller. My story is chapter 13, 14 in there, and as a result of that and the dramatic transformation that I made, we ended up, my wife and I, getting married for a second time. Everything just became better at that point. And so this is us and our kids. We're getting married a second time. People do that when they fall madly in love again. So everything changed then after I won that contest, and I got fit and trim, and I was just like life was full of energy. At 42 years old, I couldn't believe it. And this was the very first course I ever bought. It's Main Street Marketing Machines by Mike Keening. And I'm really dating myself because this is actually not that long ago, but in the internet years, it seems like it's 20 years ago. But it's all about how to take our offline clients and bring them online. At the time, it was kind of a novel concept. I thought that's really cool. So anyways, I bought the course. I could barely afford it, but long story short, I did really well at it. I basically just applied the same transformational principles that I did at changing my body physically and emotionally to my business, and it worked wonders on here. I ended up upgrading our entire life on here. We got new cars, new houses on here. I ended up speaking literally all over the world about my transformation process. I was part of Bill Phillips' transformation crew and doing that. I shared the stage and we toured the United States with Paula Abdul. Paula Abdul has an amazing transformation story. A lot of people don't realize that. That's me and Bill Phillips in Denver. We had just raised about $250,000 for Make-A-Wish Foundation, ran a marathon together. And then I got a whole bunch of TV shows because I was now successful on all different levels of life on here. I met this guy on here, if you watch The Secret, backstage. And then Mike Keatings, I finally got to meet Mike Keatings. The first course I ever bought was from him, and I'm in the digital cafe there. And then one day, everything really turned around. I got a phone call from Dan Kennedy's office. How many people in here know who Dan Kennedy is? I didn't know who the heck he was. So I got a call from his office that he'd like you to fly down to, I think it's Ohio. This has been like 5 years ago or so, 5, 6 years, actually longer than that. And so he'd like to interview because I'd done very well in my business. And I was like, nah, no thanks, I'm too busy. And then I got a call back a couple days later, say, you should probably show up. Do you know who he is? You might want to Google him. Anyways, I'm glad I did. It really was, that's me and Dan Kennedy, by the way, is interviewing me in the studio. And the reason he did is because in 2009, 2010, I grew my business, my offline business, to well over $1 million. That's my personal income, $1.6 million there. So enough about me. Let's turn our back on you on here. And so I'm going to share with you exactly how I went from just making a few $1,000s to literally $3,000 or $4,000 profit per day, and more importantly, how you can do the same. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So if you've been kind of sleeping, now is the time you want to kind of wake up, all right? Okay, so basically what I did on here, I went from just working really, really hard to reinventing my business. A lot of it had to do with some mentors that I have, but I wanted to move away from being a consultant and move away from being kind of the, the offline guy to the online guy. I wanted to live more of that dream on that. I was meeting a lot of clients face to face, and I was making great money, but it was really taxing on me emotionally, and I didn't want to do that anymore. And at that time, there was a lot of other people from halfway around the world, still is, that were willing to work for a fraction of what I was, and were offering SEO and all the same services I was. So I wanted to offer an exclusive service that someone else couldn't come in from India, Philippines, and crowd me out, and basically price me out. And really importantly is I wanted to build this kind of lifestyle business. So I was free to travel with my family, my kids, and work anywhere that I wanted to. That was most important to me, and fortunately, I've fulfilled that on here. We have a couple of homes. One of them is in Barcelona. Myself and my 3 kids, we've been to all these countries, not just for like a summer, but we go skiing in France. We go to London all the time. We fly there. We're in Barcelona right now. We have another home in South Korea. My wife's Korean. All of my corporations are incorporated in Hong Kong and Singapore, so we travel there all the time. Last winter we were in Vietnam, so we've been all over the place on here. My kids speak 3 languages fluently. Okay, for 3 years I homeschooled my kids while we just traveled around the world, and I was also working too. See, there's some screenshots on here. The one on the left side I think is probably somewhere in Italy. The top one there is in Vietnam, and the bottom one is in China. You can tell by the old phones there and stuff. So I've been able to do a lot of really cool stuff on here. It's because I kind of figured out, what do business owners really want out there? What do they all want? With the plumbers and dentists and attorneys, what do they all want? They want to be #1 on Google? Well, yeah, but it's kind of a means to an end, right? Do they want high converting web pages? Well, yeah, everybody does. But do they want more social media presence? No, they probably should. But at the end of the day, all those things lead to just one thing and one thing only that they all want, and that's the thing I want to deliver. it's too complicated to explain SEO. I did that for a while. It's all of that stuff is very high intensive. Just deliver them the live prospects. That's exactly what they want, and that's what I do. And it's completely freed me up and allowed me to travel the world with my kids and really lead a lot stressful business on here. So live prospects, that's what I do, just live phone calls on here. Let me give you an example of how incredibly well this business model works on here. And it's still just growing like crazy. So some of you may know Home Advisor, which is formerly Service Magic. They sell leads. I sell live phone call leads. They sell email leads. They're extremely profitable. I found this. This was 2012 article. They made an annual income of about $205 million. Not too shabby. Fast forward to 2015, they're at $700 million. They've more than tripled their business. It's absolutely phenomenal. Now, I've had some very similar experiences with my business too, because I'm in the same business. I'm in the pay-per-lead business, but I do live calls. They do emails on here. So basically on here, I'm showing you this just to show you what's possible, and know that I've spent day and night for the past 6 years focused on this. I haven't bought another shiny objects, nothing on this. And I have a team and I have a business partner on here, so not all this money is mine on here. But this is just in December. This is just for a pay-per-call business. We've been consistently over $1 million gross on here, and this is just in January on here. And I just got this screenshot like a few minutes before the call. I may just have it up just so no one can call BS on here. Yeah, it's still up on here. So this is it. This is just gone global on here. Yeah, that is $31,000 in expenses. That's actually low, by the way. But anyways, so again, that's just to show you what's possible on here. And let's get moving on here. So who wants to see the exact site structure? I'm going to pull back and show you everything, exactly how I get like a site to bring in over $1 million per month on this end of it. So this is exact site structure in here. I need some excitement in the chat box. Type in some ones in there if you want to see this stuff. I'm not going to hold anything back. And definitely at this point, if you're sleeping, you need to wake up, because you've never heard what I'm going to share with you now. And it's sustainable. I've been doing this for 5 years. This is not some loophole. Okay. Looking good. Here we go. All right. So what do I name this thing? I don't have some fancy name for it. I apologize. I just call it a master domain site. So what is it? Pay attention right here. So this is it. It's just basically, it's one domain, right? And that's, I just named it yoursite.com. It could be, yourplumberspros.com or whatever. And then / the city name. Now there's something really magical that happens that no one's talking about and has been missed off the radar for the past 5 years, and I've been leveraging off of it. And that is that when you just get like 4 or 5 or 7 like major cities like a Houston, a Dallas, a Miami, a San Diego, these kind of big cities on here, Seattle and stuff, when you get those to rank on page 1, it's like the rest of your site for all the other cities, it's like Google gives it like a go pass. It's like, hey, you're totally trusted now. Go for it. There's also one other thing on here, because let's be honest, if you're in a good competitive niche, it's going to be difficult to rank in Houston, Dallas, and Fort Worth on here. So how do we get to that point easily? Well, I'm going to show you that right here. Check this out. So look, this is what the typical, particularly lead person does in the local market, is they look at a map like this and they go, yep, if I'm going to rank in any city on here, I want to rank in San Francisco. I'm about to demonstrate for you why that's the biggest mistake you could make, and this is why. San Francisco has got a population of about 1 million base in there, okay? And it's very competitive to rank in any niche and get on page 1. It's extremely competitive. But if you accumulate all the outside cities on here, which maybe you've probably never heard of on here, Union City, Hayward on here, Dallas City, Alameda, you don't go there, you go to San Francisco, right? But those places, if you add up their total population, it exceeds San Francisco by about 500,000. And guess what on here? Check this out. Everyone's focused on the bigger cities on here. That's not where the action is, folks. That's the hardest competition in the world. You want to go where you're the biggest fish in the pond and it's easiest pickings on here, and that is right here. You want to be focusing on all those surrounding cities and the large one at the same time. And there's something that even more magical happens when you do that. Again, San Francisco's population of about 1 million. You accumulate the smaller ones, it's more than that. There's more population there. There's going to be more accumulative clicks and more customers to pick up the phone and call that you can then forward on to your customers, your clients on here. And you can literally rank these cities. I'm going to show you proof of this, okay? So you literally rank these cities on here when you do it the right way with 0 to 1 backlink. And I'm talking really crummy backlinks, nothing special here, in 1 to 2 weeks. Easy on here. Now, when you do that, this is the second thing that happens that's really cool, is that what happens, and it makes sense, is that what happens is all the smaller cities, you'll just instantly, like in a week or two, and that's really short time in SEO world, right, okay? You're ranking on page 1, you're going to start getting natural traffic, right? And that natural traffic is going to be recognized at your core domain. When you get that natural search traffic, that's part of the algorithm that you can't fake that stuff. There's real people visiting your site and spending time on there. Google all of a sudden says, hey, you have a pretty cool site. There's a lot of people checking you out everywhere. Oh, I noticed you're in San Francisco too. Maybe people in San Francisco would like to check you out. Okay, these smaller cities on here with no backlinks will rank really quickly, and they'll make your main city rank with very few backlinks. You'll be the guy on there ranking with like 3 backlinks when on page 1, everyone else has got like 50 or 100 or 1,000. Okay, I'm going to show you proof, so there's no BS going on here. Alrighty, so who wants to see on here? Give me some ones in the chat box on here. See a real site on here that's ranking in well over 300 cities. I'll show you about 20 or 30 of them, and you can check the rest on your own if you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the actual websites on here, and then I'll take each of the cities and I'll compare it with my Majestic account so you can see the exact amount of backlinks that are here. Okay, want to see that? There's some excitement in the chat box. Type some ones in there. Let me know you want to see this stuff. Pretty cool, right? So far it's easy, right? This is super simple concept to grasp. It's almost like you're probably thinking to yourself, like, why didn't I think of that? Alrighty, so let me back out on my screen here and step on over here, and we'll get started on this. Okay, so, all right, I actually plugged in 2 sites, so you'll get to see 2 of them, so it's not just one. How's that? Okay, so this is the Porta Potty niche, and this is Porta Potty Orlando. Now, if you're ranking on page 1 anywhere on page 1 for basically any niche in a city like Orlando, you're going to get some pretty serious searches on here. So let's check it out. It is, where are we? Right here, Porta Potty Pros, right there. We're not number 1. We're not after number 1 on here. So we're just getting on page 1 massively and easily. Let's check out. Here's the site, and check it out. 0 backlinks. Zippo backlinks. Okay. I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, that's just an easy niche. I'm going to show you another niche. Okay. So it's not that. People are always trying to play not to lose instead of play to win. This is Porta Potty, San Jose. It's good, about a population there. Where are we here? Right there, boom. Okay. Can you guess how many backlinks? You got it, 0 backlinks. How about that? I'm gonna go a little bit faster on here. Porta Potty, Seattle. It'd be cool to rank in Seattle, right? Think about this. This site is actually ranking in over 500 cities. Okay, just think about that for a second. All right, so where are we here? Sometimes I get kind of excited about this and I don't see it on here. Where are we? There we go. We're right there. There's no problem on this end of it. Bam. We might have 1 back. No, we got no backlinks there. Okay. Pretty easy so far, right? I'm going to keep on going. Here's Porta Potty on here. This is going to be Tacoma, Washington, right? Yeah. Most people are going after Seattle. There's like 5 times the population outside of the Seattle. People focus places like Federal Way, Tacoma, Bellevue, Kent. There's a couple of the islands there, but where are we? We're right up here at the top on that end of it, and guess what? Majestica says 0 backlinks. Sounds kind of, this is looking, you're probably getting really suspicious at this point, like what the heck is this guy doing on here? I'll show you the secret ingredient in just a second, and it's 100% white hat. I'll reveal it to you in just a second. This is Kent, Washington on here, population of about 180,000 on here. This is neighbors with Bellevue, right where Microsoft owner, is he getting 0 links? Because they're kind of boring, right? We're going to go over this again and again and again. Federal Way, or right up here, guess what? 0 backlinks. Let me change to this. I could do this. I could literally do this for 400 or 500 cities. Okay, so let me change to another website. I did load one up in here. Let me see if I got it right here. Okay, so this is another one. So it's a little bit more competitive niche on here. And you might want to take a look at this site because I'm going to ask you later how much this site brings in revenue. It's going to blow your mind. So this is Handyman Spokane on here. Again, it's not after number 1. It's right here. It's on page 1. And here we got 2 measly backlinks going back here. That's it. Let's take a look at this one on here. What is this one? Bellevue, right? Okay, so everyone goes after the Seattle, right? That's what it's like. Seattle. No, Bellevue's huge on here. There's a huge population over there. Why not go after it on that? And right up there, number 1. How many backlinks on that one? 3. Okay, so you guys are getting the idea, right? We'll just continue. Naples, Florida on here. It's right up here, number 1, and 1 backlink. Okay, anyways, you get the idea, right? So let me get into the nitty gritty. I gave you part of the picture of how we did that. And yeah, I'm going to move this out of the way on my side. You can't see it, but I want to make sure. Okay, here we go. Rocking and rolling. Yeah, we're right on time too. Cool. All right, so we did that on here. I remember I asked you earlier on that, but put in the chat box, how much revenue do you think? Now, I know how much revenue the Porta Potty makes, but the Mr. Handyman is going to blow you away. This is just a little handyman site. It's ranking in hundreds and hundreds of cities. Also, it's ranking in the UK. It's also ranking in Canada as well. So it's like thousands of cities with just a couple backlinks, sometimes nothing. And they're weak backlinks, people. How much do you think that site's put in the chat box? Do you think it's $1 million a month, 500,000 a month? How much revenue do you think that does? Because this is real business, people. This is real retirement fund money business on here. 2009, Mr. Handyman bringing in revenue between $75 million and $100 million a month. Okay, I hope that gets you excited. Look, if your goal is just to make 5,000 or 10,000 a month, we got that in the bag. Okay, if you want to go out and buy jets and stuff like that, here we're laying it out right here. But there's always a but, right? There's one thing I didn't tell you about those sites. You're like, aha, I knew it. What's the trick? And it's this secret ingredient. That's 100% why. And that is, I hired a really smart engineer on here from an Ivy League school to help us create the perfect content that Google loves to rank. This is the key right here, folks, okay? A couple of these little backlinks, I'm going to show you just there's 2 backlinks, but then this is the magic on here. And this is it right here. So I hired this engineer on here, and this is the overview of it. I'm going to show you a little bit more complex stuff, but I just wanted to let you know this is the core of it, and then we'll get a little bit geeky on you, and then we'll move on here. But each city page has 800 to 1,000 words, okay? Each city page is 83 to 90% unique when compared to all the other 400 or 500 pages, okay? That's really important. I'll show you this in a second. I'll get kind of a little bit geeky on in here. The keyword density for your keywords, 1.5 to 3%, and every single page has the city name and the state abbreviated, and has a 2 to 4% density on here. This is really the key thing, is how do you start with one seed article for, so you start out in Seattle and you have Mr. Handyman or you have Porta Potty, 800 or 1,000 word article, and then rewrite that such that, to rewrite it for it's 100% unique is like insanity, and it's just not even scalable. But he helped us create a method on here. He broke it down. I'll show you in here, and it'll blow you away. I am never smart enough in the world. I can barely understand how he does this, but this is the best way to explain it on here. So this is the Porta Potty site, okay? And all these different colors on here represent the exact wordage that's on another page. So if we take a look at this, like this purple on here, so this purple matching here is just this right here. And then if you look down the article, there's going to be some more of that dark purple. But that here, out of the 1,000 words on here, there's 71 matching. And this one is for Kennington, Ohio. This one is for the Bronx in New York. It's 68 matching on here. 57 matching for, on here, I don't even know where that is, Indianapolis. What is this one on here? 57, this is in Santa Ana, California. So in other words, if you compare all these things in here, the bottom line is it's at the most 83% unique, or at least 83% to around 90% unique. And there's a pattern here that this guy figured out through some kind of algorithm math or whatever. And look, there's no spin rewriter in the world that can do this stuff, okay? So let me just kind of put you at ease in here. So like I said, you know, you can't buy like the best spinner and throw this in and it's going to work. It just doesn't do it. I wish it would have been a heck of a lot easier on here. But I'm going to show you later on here. So it gets a little geeky, so let me get through the other stuff in here. But I'm going to show you later how you can easily start with just one like 800-word seed article. So like this is your best one 800-word article on here. And you can make 300 to 400, 90 to 83% unique that Google will absolutely love and rank. That's part of the key here, okay? And it's 100% white hat. I mean, how can you trick Google with content? This is, I mean, if you can go through back, I would recommend go through back after this, after I'm done with this. Don't do it now because I got a lot more really good stuff to share with you. And you just see it reads great. Everything's cool about it on here, but this is cutting edge stuff. And you go out and hire the best of the best minds out there. You know, this is the kind of stuff that happens. Alrighty, so let me just give a quick update of kind of where we are on here. I gave the intro, I gave an exact site structure on it. It's a master domain site on here. Makes my company about $1 million per month gross. I showed you actually 2 sites, the Porta Potty and the Mr. Handyman site on here. All of them are ranking well over 300 cities on here, and most of the time it's with 0 to just like 3 backlinks on here, and that's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything that I just showed you, and I'm going to show you to a recent website and kind of bring this down. I've been talking like showing you 7-figure stuffs on here. Let's take this down a notch to maybe it's more relatable. Okay, I shouldn't say down a notch, but just kind of more relatable on here because I remember when, I mean, the most money I ever made by the time I was 41 years old, the most money I'd ever made in my best year was $41,000. And you take taxes out and stuff like that, that's nothing. Okay, so let's, what are we going to do here? Okay, so we're going to do that. Let's, boom. Now, this exact case study that I'm going to show you is following the same principle. So if you didn't catch it before, now's the time to do it, okay? So look, everyone goes after what? Do they go after Escondido? Is that what they want? Chula Vista? You guys probably never heard of that, but you heard of San Francisco, right? So everyone's trying to rank in San Francisco or in San Diego. But if you accumulate just those 6 cities there from Ocean View all down to Chula Vista, the population is greater than San Diego. And guess what? You can rank there in about a week or 2 in any niche, all right? Where San Diego is going to take you months, especially in a competitive niche, probably 6 months even to rank on here. So we just supply the same thing. We have the 6 pages on the outside representing everything in the green box, the one in the blue, San Diego, and it's just the same thing. Everyone's focused on that, right? But we're focused on the other side because we're smarter about this, right? You see the pattern? It's easy, right? Smaller cities, we combine their populations greater than San Diego, just like I said. These little sites are going to rank in a couple of weeks on here, sometimes without any backlinks whatsoever. All depends on the niche. And what that does is that tells Google starts seeing all this traffic coming to it, like real traffic, and it's like, well, I see us over here in San Diego, so maybe some other people would enjoy that as well. And you'll rank a lot easier. Not just float up to the top. You'll have to get a couple of links to it because it's very competitive, but you'll have a fraction of the backlinks that ever takes everyone else to do, right? It's cool stuff. Here's a couple of the sites. This niche I don't want to reveal on here because I just got started on it. So I just got these covered up screens. I thought that's kind of stupid. So let me just take you in the back here, and I'll show you the back of the back end here of where we are with this. Okay, so this is these are some of the calls that came in off of these the San Diego and all the surrounding ones. But what's really interesting on here is this. So this is all the cities on here. This is the ones I just showed you, right? So if you look at all time, and this is just a few months on here, if you look at all time on here, if this is combined all these cities on here, it's $5,700. I mean, it's cool. And by the way, the site has literally 2 backlinks to it, and that's to San Diego. None of these other sites have any backlinks to it whatsoever. Now, this is the cool thing. Remember this number, $5,700. Just remember that, $5,700. Now let's look at what just San Diego brought us in income. $1,400. So $1,400 minus $5,700. Well, that's about $4,000 that I'm bringing in from these other cities that everyone else has forgot about. Okay, this is how powerful this is. All right, so this is no joke. When you start looking at this stuff again, San Diego by itself in the last 30 days brought $265. Let's see what I don't know, Chula Vista brought in. Chula Vista brought in $198. Pretty darn close to San Diego, but guess what? I was able to rank in there in about 2 weeks or less. Let's take out another one and just do this Vista Cal. I'm going to vacation. Where? Vista, California. Where's that? I don't know. But it earned me $111 on here. Whereas San Diego, you guys getting the point, and gals out there? All right. And look, my San Diego site is not even on page 1 yet. Okay, but these other ones are. This is like on the top of page 2 on here. Take a look at all. This is a call volume that comes in, the qualified leads, unqualified, average per lead that I get on this, cost per profit. So anyways, okay, so anyways, why I wanted to show you this is because I showed off with kind of showing the big guns on here, the big 7 figures on here, but this is something anybody can do. Okay, anybody can do this and rank in this kind of cities, and this is, you know, you take all this, this is life-changing money right here for a lot of people, an extra $1,000 a month, and you don't have to stop there. Geez, go all the way up and down the coast of California, and then across the United States and up into Canada. Go across the pond. I mean, don't just stop there. Okay, the sky's the limit. It's just, and as you grow it more, your domain gets stronger and stronger. It gains more and more trust, and Google likes you more. It gets easier and easier to rank. It almost sounds too crazy, but you know what? You start throwing all these junky backlinks at a site, and you know, Google knows where those backlinks are coming from. Why? Because they track everything you're doing on here, and that's completely against the terms and stuff. So anyways, okay, this is all sustainable. What else do I got on these slides here? Okay, that's what I was going to do. So I've already showed you that on here. All right, so this is where we are, and this is where we're going. All right, so I've showed you on here the exact my master domain site structure. It's creating over $1 million per month gross revenue for my company on here. Case study, I actually showed you 2, Porta Potty and Mr. Handyman on here. I showed you a recent one, just in 6 unknown cities, right? You probably never heard of Chula Vista on that, or Oceanside, unless you're from that area, but otherwise. Okay, so now I'm going to reveal to you whenever I need to use backlinks on here, these are the only 2 backlinks I ever use. And so let me ask you a question on there. Get you guys and gals out there, okay, if you're not already up and awake on here, you should be. This is exciting stuff, right? Whenever you see something this simple, you should be, and this effective, you should really get excited. So if you just could pick one backlink, you say, okay, this is the only source of backlinks I can have forever. What would be the best source of backlinks? And something that has to be repeatable and do it over. I mean, obviously everyone would like, you know, a backlink from, you know, a really high rank in Wikipedia, but I'm talking about something that's sustainable. So put in the chat box on here, Ride, grab some quick water on here, and let me know if you could just use one source of backlinks, what would it be? That's it. What would you do? A lot of smart people here. Absolutely, you got it on here. High quality private blog networks. Most definitely. This is my #1 choice on here, on that end of it. But the problem with these can be, well, they can be expensive for #1. They can be time consuming because you've got to go out and, like, if you want to get good ones, you got to like put in bids and auctions. You're going to pay sometimes 50, 80, 100, 200, $300 for decent ones, and that's just part of the business, but not necessarily on here. My team, I always hire the best of the best on here. So I got some really good, smart programmers, and they develop a software that allows my company to scrape. This is not software that's for sale, it's just internal, by the way. And it scrapes for basically forgotten domains. And this is I've covered up the domains because you could actually go out and buy these domains today at any register, GoDaddy, Namecheap, whatever you want. Everyone else just kind of, they slip by because there's so many of these things out there that not everybody can capture them. And they got a trust flow. Look, everyone from a 29, 27, and the citation flow, these are majestic numbers. If you don't know what those mean, it just means they're really good. These are some of the more profiles on here with the trust flows. Look at these backlinks on here. We just get tons of these on here. And these are the ones that we use on here. And all of these cost me like a trust flow of 25 with 273 backlinks to it and a citation flow that almost matches the trust flow. Something like this for sale on one of these domain sites. And I'm not in the domain business, by the way. I'm in the business I'm sharing with you. A site like this would be like 80, 90, 100 bucks easily on this side of it. I just pick it up for $9.99. It's .com, $9.99. It's easy on here. So that was my first source of backlinks on here. Here's my second source. Anybody want to take a quick guess at what those are? I'm sorry if this is not that exciting. This is like, oh really? This is how you do this. This seems pretty easy. Well, I hope it does. I hope it does. But 2.0 sites. The best things about most of these on here, a couple of these have changed on here, but most of these are free on here, and we go by domain authority on these, and it should be page authority, but Moz, but it's 25 or above. We got tons of these things. We just scrape them. There's so many of these out there. If you have the right scraper, I don't have a scraper for sale for you. Sorry, this is my internal stuff on here. This is what I do for my own business. But okay, so let's kind of recap where we've been, where we're going on here. I showed you a lot of cool, simple stuff on here. Anyone can go out and do. And then I showed you my two sources of backlinks. I think everybody can agree if they're good quality and stuff, and you're not like making them like a link farm. It's good stuff, it really is. And if you're getting them at a deep discount at like cost for a brand new domain, and you're getting the rest of them for free, why the heck not? So got these sites ranking, we got them ranking in niches, we got them ranking in hundreds of cities. Now we got to get clients. Right? Now we got to get clients. I'm going to show you on here a really cool method we use to get clients. I guarantee you've never seen like before. It has nothing to do with cold calling, emails, paid ads, and that, and it literally will work, as you'll find out in a second, 100% of the time. The only caveat, and that's why that little star is there, is because if a business doesn't want any more business, and some of them are packed, they're like, oh, we're too busy, can't take any more, then it's not going to work on them. And I think that's pretty obvious, right? So check this out. Okay, so I'm going to recap this, so if you don't catch it the first time, that's okay. So basically this, you've just put up maybe those 6 sites are ranking, you're getting calls coming in like the ones I just showed you there, right? Around the San Diego area. You don't have any clients yet, okay? Let's just pretend that. Prospect calls, okay, and the phone number is forwarded, not just like a voicemail. We don't want to waste that on here. It's forwarded to a U.S. trained operator. These are operators in the U.S., not somewhere else in the world, okay, in the U.S. And they collect the customer's information. So it goes something like, oh, let's say it's a plumbing site. Oh, okay, someone calls up and says, hey, I've got a leaky faucet, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, no problem. Let me take down your name and number, and let me get a description of what the leaky faucet is or whatever. I'll have our head technician call you back in 15 to 20 minutes. Is that okay? Is this the best number to contact you? Oh, this is your cell number? Okay, great. He'll call you right back. We'll get this taken care of. Hang up the phone. Pretty easy so far, right? No selling going on, no nothing. Step 3, that same operator now picks up the phone and calls the #1 plumber company that you want to do business with, one that's preferably already advertising, it's like already on page 1 and clearly has AdWords and stuff like this, right? They run a real professional business, not some mom and pop tiny shop, okay? And say, hey, I got a lead for you. I'm from so-and-so Plumber Leads. This is completely free on here. I just need you to promise me one thing. I've got the details of this customer. She needs to be taken care of right away. Can you, I've got all of her information. This is the kind of job it is. Can you take it? Yes. Okay, here's the information. Right after you call her, can you email me back and just let me know everything went okay? And if it went okay, I'll give you some more. Are you seeing kind of how slick this is? This is super slick. All right, took us a while to develop this. Now, she just repeats that one more time. By this time, I guarantee you, even before that, the plumber's like, who are you? How can we get more leads? What's going on? We haven't told them anything. We just keep giving them more leads and checking up that they make sure they do good. We just cycle that twice. By that time, they're completely ready to find out how to get more of these leads, okay? Are you capturing that? So here's just a quick summary of that, because this really works. This is super, super slick. Prospects calls. Hey, I have a plumbing emergency. U.S. trained operator picks up the phone number, answered it in your company name on here, takes down all the information, writes it down, says a head plumber will call you right back, or whatever the niche is, it doesn't matter. Could be DOI attorney or whatever. And then the U.S. operator then calls a local contractor. You want to give them a list of like the top 3 plumbers or niches in that city that you'd like to work with, and you just give them in the order that you would. And you base that off of, are they currently advertising? Do they have a professional site? Are they on page 1? Right? There's plenty on page 1 to choose from. There's 10. There's going to be at least 10 organic, and there's going to be 4 or so paid on that, but it's super easy to find. And we just turn that around on the end of it, and we let that contractor know, hey, we got a lot more of these leads on here, but we got to make sure that you take care of this one good. By the time we cycle that through twice, they're just clamoring at the table. Who are you? How can I get more leads? Blah, blah, blah. So that's the cycle of it. So how much do you think it costs on this end of it for these U.S. trained operators? Maybe it sounded kind of like, maybe the whole thing sounded cool, but kind of expensive. What if I told you it costs about 5 times less than a Filipino, but these are U.S. based and they're good on here? If anybody knows anything about call centers, these are well-trained, $1.50 flat rate to pick up the phone for as long as it takes. There's no extra charges. Take the information, blah, blah, blah. And the call's recorded so you can listen to it. And then when they hang up the phone and then call up to give the lead away, and that's the beginning of your sales process, right? And how much do you think that costs? Doesn't matter how long the phone call is. $1.75. You couldn't hire someone halfway around the world to do this for you, okay? And they got all the right nuances and language and all that kind of stuff. Absolute steal out here. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground so far, and I think we've made some good time, respected your time. I think so far, I kind of feel like I've added some good value on here. I'm feeling pretty good about it on here. So now I want to share with you how I manage. My company has well over 3,500 pages ranking on page 1. And within all those, we have about a little over 400 paying clients on here. And I want to show you how we manage those, because that's not an easy task. If you've never had clients before, then all of a sudden you get 5, it's kind of like, oh, it's kind of in 10, but you start getting 100, 200, 400, it becomes, it's serious business, okay? You need an automated system to do it. So let me show you that, then we'll recap, and we'll get into some questions and answers. How cool is that? All right. So I use the software. That's my software right there called Zoo. It's not for sale, by the way. So this is something I built for my own system. I didn't build it to sell it. I built it to fuel the growth of my company on here. It does everything. It's automated on here. It does the things that 100 people can do, basically. It does the automated billing on here, and it doesn't just automate it. It takes it a step above, because I got some really cool programmers full-time. And they have shares in the company as well, so they're invested on this end of it. But it sends out the bill notifications on here both by text to our clients and by email. And whether they open it by text or email, there's a pay button right there, right to pay. And we have all of them prepay, and it's kind of like topping up, so they prepay like depending on the client, like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 up front, and then every call that comes in automatically gets deducted. And then when it drops to a certain level, like $400, then they start getting the bill notifications to top back up to 1,000. Okay, hope you followed that. Automatically integrates with our PayPal. That's what we use on here. And we can do the prepay or post-pay afterwards. We do the prepay like a fast food restaurant. Prepay, not post-pay like a fine dining. This is a kind of sample of what a bill looks like, just integrated, but I just want to show you that little yellow button to the left-hand side that will show up in their text and in their email. And they keep getting it daily until they pay it, and then the emails, they're automated. They get a little more nastier if they don't, but they all like the leads, so they don't want to let it go on here. The system is built in, so we do have other people using it. Not very many, but it does have a white label feature, so you're not labeled like Callzoo. You're labeled whatever you are, and you don't have to move it over to your own server, none of that stuff. It's super simple. Customers get to log into the back end, and they get to check out, monitor their calls. They get to see, oh, wow, I got 5 calls today. Well, wait a minute, during business hours, I missed 2 of those calls. What the heck's going on? Because they're going to be charged anyways for them, right? They get to listen to the calls, and that's optional whether they want to record it or not. Manage their billing, basically anything a customer needs to do, so they don't need to call you up. Everyone who uses the site, if we get any telemarketers, then there's a block button, and it blocks it for all the users. So we pretty much don't get any of those because someone catches it and then it blocks it for everybody. We do all kinds of fancy stuff, like we can like route calls to like 3 different plumbers in like a San Diego area if we have too many calls coming in, or we can do it to 1, or we can blast it out to all 3 of them, and the first one that picks it up gets the call. This is some of the back end stuff on here. Don't want to get too fancy with it on here. This is like they come in the back end, they can listen to phone calls, they can see what bills are paid, not paid on here. Let me ask this question on here, and just kind of look at this picture and take it in for a second. Which car would you rather have? Would you rather have the one on the left or the one on the right? No, not a trick question, by the way. You don't want the one on the right, right? The one with the wheels. And the reason I point that out is this, is the one on the left is kind of like having a really fancy pay-per-call software, but you got no traffic and you got no customers. At that point, you just got an expensive software. You got a hobby. You don't have a business at that point. You see what I'm saying? On it. Whereas what I've shared with you this evening or afternoon, wherever you are in the world, as I've shared with you on this end of it, the most important aspects of a business. You don't have a business until you have traffic. And then when you got traffic, you got to have customers. That's what the whole online business is about. Then when you have those things, then you need a pretty decent, nice software system to manage it, but not the other way around. And a lot of other people in this whole SaaS industry and all this other kind of stuff try to just sell you a car with no wheels. A really fancy car, though. Man, it's a really fancy car. But you got to have traffic and conversion, otherwise you just got an expensive hobby. So I hope I made my point there on here. So we're almost done, folks and gals out there. So let's just recap on here what we've learned right here. So I showed you the master domain side. Pretty simple, right? It's cool stuff, very simple to do. One of the key factors on there is that you want to make sure that your articles are written the correct way, and when you're ready to send some backlinks to it, that you send some good backlinks, particularly some of these high quality private blog networks that I've been talking about on here, the really good ones on that. On here, and I showed you a site that we ranked around this San Diego area, you know, and basically had 2 links literally to literally 2 links total on the end of it. It's bringing in a little over $1,000 a month, and that's not chump change. Okay, that's good on that. I showed you how we get clients, really kind of clever way to do it on the end of it. I showed you a system we use to manage on the end of it. So we kind of recapped it here. So that's it right there. We got master domain sites. They call, it's all managed. They get, as soon as they call, it gets passed through to the owner, it gets automated billing, all that kind of stuff. Allows me to travel around the world and do some really cool stuff. I don't have to meet clients face to face and all that kind of stuff. I try to sell SEO or social media or something like that. I'm selling live leads. I'm just giving them away, and they want more, basically. So, alrighty. So who here is super excited about starting their own pay-per-call online business and starting their master domain site, type it 2 in the chat box and let me know that you're excited about that, what you've learned on here. And hopefully I've led to my mission in the beginning, which I wanted to provide a ton of value on here. All right, so I see lots and lots of responses on here. So look, let me ask you one more question on here. Who would you want to teach you how to play basketball? The actor? Okay, the actor on the left side of your screen, or the professional who actually really plays the game? Well, obviously someone who plays the game. I play the game on here on that end of it, and I want to give you 12 reasons so you'll totally crush it on this end of it, and you'll totally crush it in this business niche on here. For the call right now, if you act on this in the call right now, I'm going to give you unlimited high-quality private blog network domains. You don't share them with anybody. These are yours. You get them at their high trust flow. You can turn them away and ask for different ones, whatever you want to do. Our scraper has so many, and they're from all over the world. Whatever kind of domain you want. You want some from Slovenia, we got them from there. You want some from Canada, we got them from there. All over it, .coms everywhere. Our system just over scrapes. We have too many of them. And you just pay what, and they're the ones that got missed. You just pay, you buy them at any register, domain register, GoDaddy, Namecheap, whatever. It's a .com, $9.99. You got a coupon, $4.99, whatever. That's what it costs you. There's no waiting, no registering, none of that kind of stuff. And you're also going to get unlimited domain authorities by Moz, 25 plus of Web 2.0 properties. And to add on top of all that, because I want you to succeed no matter what, I want zero excuses on here on this really simple business model, is you'll get access to our private Facebook group that does nothing but does link exchanges on here. So this is really powerful because these are people who follow the same practices that I teach, and they're doing backlink exchanges. So it's like, hey, I got a private blog network over here. I just got 3 outbound links. I got room for 2 or 3 more shared links on here. Well, I like to exchange on here. It's really, really, really powerful, and it basically takes your work and it cuts it down by about 5 times. To make sure you're going to succeed on here, because that's what it's all about. It's about your success on here. Check this out. I'm going to personally review your top 3 niches. I'm going to show you how to find profitable niches, but then once you go through my system to find them, you will personally email to my support, and I will spend 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. I'll review over all your data, and I'll give you 6 years of experience that I just simply cannot put in a training course to tell you why or why not this niche will work, this one won't, and what you need to add to this one. It's invaluable. The reason is because when you start, I want you to make sure that you start off knowing that your niche is 100% successful no matter what. Okay, I don't want you doing all this work and then you find out later that it's not a good niche. And there are literally probably 20,000 good niches out there, so it's not like they're in limited supply. I don't know if you can tell, but I really enjoy teaching on here. So as a part of that, I provide 2 live events per year. These are not paid. There's nobody hired to come speak at these. It's literally my staff, myself, and successful students that just come on stage and they teach, and then you do what they teach while you're there to workshop. People absolutely love these. If for some weird reason you can't make it out there because it costs you nothing, you just come out to these things on this end of it. We could easily charge $1,000 or more for them. They are professionally recorded, but you really want to come out because the experience is just life-changing. Full access to my software system on here. There's no upsells in it. There's no nothing. It has every bell and whistle that anyone other out there has. But what it has that no one else has is that it has an owner and a CEO that actually does the business, not just in the software business. And I built it around the trials and tribulations that I've had in my business in the real world. So it has all the features that it needs on here. That's enough about that. I do 2 coaching calls per month. They're usually running around 2 hours, and I'll always bring on a successful student for like 15, 20 minutes and just have them share what they're doing and how they're out there kicking ass, or kicking butt. Sorry, it's probably a PG channel here. And then I share with you for the rest of the call. I share with you guys and gals at that end of it the cutting edge strategies, the things we're doing on our business on a much larger scale, and you get to trickle down. You get to capture that information. Really rare. Full access to our pay-per-call online software. I think I already covered that, right? That one was the websites. So on that's what this one should be. The websites. We have our own WordPress websites on here. I'll show you some samples of those in a second. They're 120% newbie friendly, and they create incredible websites, and they're perfectly integrated with our software system. This is something I hesitated to put in, and I'll tell you why in a second. People are selling this kind of stuff for like $2,000 to $1,000, $2,000, and that is, there's very few people who know how to do this, and that is how to take and rank a Google 3-pack without a postcard, and so you can basically rank your lead gen site up there. I'm going to include that in here, but only with the caveat that doesn't build a sustainable business. That's going to give you some short-term leads and stuff, but the long-term thing, and I want you to think about long-term, is building out these domain sites, master domain sites, using the white hat techniques that I teach on this end of it. That's sustainable. The 3-pack Google, that's a hack, but we figured out the hack, so it's kind of cool. I'll throw it in there. And then access to our very private, we have an additional Facebook group. It has nothing to do with backlinks. It's just literally students in there every day posting success stories, really interesting things that they're learning, observing in their businesses. It's one of the most active Facebook groups. It's a paid Facebook group, and we tightly monitor that end of it. We're going to give you a proprietary method for exactly how to get clients hand-free. We told you that with it's a great process. There's nothing easier and cheaper out there in the world with the kind of results that it gets on here. And then last but not least on here, this is kind of the secret ingredients. It's actually all of them together, but this on here, this literally we spent a lot of money basically to get a very smart engineer to come in and basically unengineer this and figure out, how do you take an article that Google really likes on this end of it, and we show you how to do it, and then we show you a simple, you just got to provide just the core of it, a good core 800-page article, and then we show you step-by-step exactly how to take that, and you can do it manually, or you can supplement with any kind of spinner that you may have, even a free one. It'll speed up a little bit. But basically, it's the process there, and what's going to spit out for you is like 400 to 500 articles that you can use for 400 to 500 cities, and then of course we've mapped out all the cities, and you can just start ranking them all on here. So look, how much you expect to pay for something like this? I mean, seriously, come on, $14,000, $1,400 on the center of it. You're not even going to pay anywhere near that. In fact, I rarely give this presentation. This is not my main business is the business of as I'm talking about. Okay, so this is not even my main business. The last time I've ever charged prices as low as you're about to see on this end of it, and there's a limited amount of spots on here, is 3 years ago, and I'm going to be upsetting a lot of members who paid more on this end of it. But there it is right there. You're going to want to go to the URL right above there. That's learn.callzoo.com/Simplify half off. It's a true half off. And I know that there's we have a lot of current members. I know current members on there, and it's like, I'm sorry. This is a one-time thing on here. That's it. So, and then you're going to see they've already dropped the links in the chat box. So you see the chat box on here. And if you have any issues whatsoever, PayPal or whatever on here, support, they're there, okay? They're going to help you out. That's the best place for that. So let's now get into the most popular questions on here that you may have, although I'd go there and just grab this thing. I mean, are you kidding me? For $297 and $29 a month, and I said, you're getting the 2 live free events on here. You can't get domains or this kind of intel for $29. That's ridiculous on here. All right, so is this Numer friendly? Absolutely Numer friendly on here, from the websites to everything else. It's a very simple process. As I laid out on this end of it, we have trained staff, and the staff that answers your questions 7 days a week is the exact same staff that manages over the 3,500 page one websites and over 400 customers. They know this stuff, okay? So they'll help you out. The kind of stuff is, it's like if you're like really struggling with it, they'll just say, hey, give me your username and password, let me do it for you. Does this work in all countries? It works in all countries, but, and we have students that are doing it in all countries, so very successful. But I would recommend that you start in the US. It's the biggest, largest market. Why not? You don't need to meet with customers. Look, I've been traveling for the past 5 years with my kids, and none of my staff is in the US, but 80% of our customers are in the US, so you do not need to be in the US on here. Do we have phone numbers in all countries? We have we run off our system off of Twilio. Okay, if you've heard of Twilio before. Twilio has a lot of numbers in a lot of major countries. So any European country it has, any South America countries it has on here, from Brazil, Argentina, just about every major, Canada, obviously, UK and all that kind of stuff on here. But again, I would recommend, because we live in the WWW, World Wide Web, that you start this from, you can do this anywhere. Why not start in a country that just has the best chance of just exploding it? This is a question I get: are all the good niches taking a look? There are, I get it. If I was watching this, I would think the same thing, okay? So I'm not like coming down hard on anybody for this, but just hear me out. There's like 20,000 plus offline niches, okay? Good niches, all right? And part of the process is that when you follow through Module 1 and you follow the exact process to pick profitable niches on here, it'll be one of the best exercises you've ever done, trust me. And then you email into my support the Excel sheet, and I take a look at that. I'll spend some time in here, and I'll let you know right up, hey, these two are no good. This one's pretty good, but you need to explore this and this. Go back to the drawing board. It's the 5 years, kind of 5, 6 years plus experience that you just can't put. I can put all the step-by-step courses, but at the end of the day, you can't replace that experience. And that experience is going to ensure that you don't fail, okay? Really important. So no, not all the good niches are taken, and I'll make sure that you don't get into a niche that's too crowded. Do I have to live in the U.S. to make this work? I think I already answered that, right? But just in case I didn't, no. I haven't lived in the U.S. for 6 years, okay? And my staff doesn't either. How do you ensure that we are not all going after the same niche? Okay, well, I review everyone's niches. Give me your top 3 or 4 niches after you've gone through the exercises, and I'll let you know. Surprisingly, it happens very rarely. You'd be surprised. You'd think like everyone would be submitting the same 3 or 4 niches, right? It doesn't happen, because there's so many of them out there. And the exercise that I take you through, you'll see when you get in, or if you're probably already in on here. What is the difference between Callzoo and other pay-per-call software? Look, we got all the features and everything that any other software has. The big difference with us is that we're going to teach you how to be able to actually use the software. The only way you can use the software is if you got traffic and customers. That's it. Otherwise, you can't even use it, and that's the most important thing, and that's why I've spent the majority of this time focusing on that, okay, and instead of just some fancy car that has no wheels. Okay, how do you get clients? Use our proprietary system. How we do that, super simple, no cold calling. These people really all they want is like, yeah, I want them. I've already had a couple of them, they're good, I want more. How do I get them? Are there any additional expenses per month? Well, you're running a business, right? So other than the $29.99, which covers everything that I've listed so far here, which is an absolute phenomenal deal, you're gonna have stuff like hosting. Yeah, hosting, right? What else you got besides hosting? Yeah, hosting. You have to buy some domains, but at cost, whatever .com is going for these days. What are they going for these days? $11.99, $9.99, I don't know. And yeah, that's about it. There's not any other hard costs involved. So this is a very low cost stuff. I mean, you look at people who who are in debt after 4 years in undergraduate college, and they can't even get a job. It's nuts. Okay, so that's the last slide on here, guys. That's it. So let's turn it over. I'll blow this back up, and then if you guys want to come on and bring some questions in the chat box that I haven't already answered, I'm going to fulfill my promise and stay here and answer all your questions until we're done.
Yeah, absolutely. And great presentation, great content. A lot of people raving about the content. And yeah, guys, I mean, this is a complete system that you can use to go out there and not only get rankings, but monetize those rankings. Like Chris said, automatically, he built that software to simplify and automate his business. And now you guys can get access to that same thing. So, awesome presentation. And Serplify works perfectly in conjunction with it as well. You can use Serplify to create your sites and then follow everything that Chris shared on rankings and PBNs and monetization, and marry the two together. And just the fact that you guys can get access to those unlimited domains to be able to get those PBNs or use those to create a money site with some good authority already built in. And the Link Exchange Facebook group. I mean, those two things alone can allow you to just skyrocket your business, being able to truly get quick rankings by being able to deploy, 2 to 3 links to one of your sites, and boom, get some quick rankings there. Just like Chris showed. I mean, one of those sites, barely had, a handful of links, and it was ranking.
That's exactly right. And I know a lot of questions that we get sometimes about this, like, really? Do you really give unlimited ones? What we do is we give out 4 at a time, and we give suggested guidelines of exactly how to build them out so they look like real sites and all that kind of stuff. And we give specific guidelines based on the last 5 years of exactly how many outbound and inbound links you have on the end of it. And you build out those 4 exactly how. Show us you build out the 4, we'll give you another 4. And we'll just repeat that process all day and all night long. And you can use those for whatever purposes that you want. We hope that you use it to build your master domain site, but it's up to you.
Yeah, guys, and just remember, with Serplify, we haven't really covered the niche part, choosing the right niches. And what I love about what Chris is doing is his focus on niches, because if you pick the wrong niche, it's like Chris says, you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your money. But if you get it right from the start and pick the right niche, you're going to be miles ahead of everybody else. Well, so I think this is really important, and it's the core of pretty much all of internet marketing, is picking that right niche. And it's it's a really, really exceptional part of the course as well. I just want to emphasize that, because this is going to be a massive, massive benefit for you using Serplify as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, once you join us, post in the chat box so we can congratulate you. I see Erica's joined us already. Ed, Kevin has joined us. Jonathan, Edgar. So congratulations, guys. You're all going to be getting that awesome bonus of being able to get those unlimited PBN domains. I saw a question come in. Can we use this to rank a business we already own?
Yes, you can apply these things on here because they work most definitely to rank a site that you've got right now or a business that you own. You can leverage off of the Web 2.0s, Unlimited with those as well, the private blog networks, the backlink exchange group, so you can leverage your work even more on that end of it. And then if you also follow the way that we do the content for your money pages on that end of it, that I hired an engineer to do that, yeah, you can. Yeah, you would definitely do it. Now, I do just what I showed you. I don't do anything else. I'm pretty focused on what I do. So, but I know it'll work for anything. Google likes it. Period. It's not spammy. It's not a hack or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of you are asking how this plays in with Serplify. So guys, remember, on the previous call, which was a training all about Serplify, how to get started from start to finish with Serplify, we covered exactly how to get a campaign created with Serplify. And I even showed one of my sites on there, and I was checking earlier today, and I'm already ranking for a few of my keywords that I'm targeting. So on the last webinar, we covered exactly how to get a campaign up and running and a site deployed and a campaign deployed right away. and then you can use what Chris just shared, plus the Callzoo software, plus all the PBN stuff to get those quick rankings and start pointing links to your sites, or go into the Facebook group and do some link exchanges with other people, point them to your sites that you created with Serplify, and start using Callzoo to monetize those rankings automatically. So I see a few of you asking about that. So if you haven't seen the Q&A webinar that shows you how to get started from A to Z with Serplify, make sure you watch that and then apply what you learned on here today. Apply the Callzoo software and get those results. Start monetizing your sites, and it'll give you a good understanding of how both of them play a role in your business.
Yeah, we'll follow up with that training link as well, so everybody can see how this all relates. If there's any questions, guys, keep them in. Can you ask any questions before the order? Yes, just ask us a question, and if Chris doesn't see it, we'll relay that over to Chris to answer.
And I see a couple of people saying that the link is broken. I've tested it a few times here on my end, and it seems to be working fine. There's several people that have joined us as well: Joanne, Sue, John, Philip. So we've got a good amount of people being able to join us. So if for some reason the link isn't working for you, I'd either try a new browser or try an incognito window or something, because the link is working.
Chris, somebody's asking here, and you might want to clarify this as well, if they get paid just for the lead or pay if the person converts into a sale. Do you want to come in and chime in on that?
Yeah, that's a great question on here. So to reiterate the question, do I get paid, or more importantly, do you get paid for just delivering the lead, or for delivering the lead that becomes a converted customer? No, just the lead. Okay, so, and I go over full training on exactly how to do that, because that's a mistake I made 5 years ago. Was like, well, okay, I'll deliver the lead, and then people are like, well, I'll only pay for it if it converts into a customer. And it's like, no, you got to do your responsibility too. So you have to understand that a good business owner who understands how to run their business, who does paid advertising, they understand that when they run local mailers, that some of them are going to call and just window shop. Some are going to call and just look at prices. Some are going to call and you're going to be able to convert them over. Same with AdWords, pay-per-click. Some are going to click on the site. Some are going to click away. You still got to pay for it. Some are going to click, and some will call. You might close them, you might not on this note, but you got an opportunity. And what I'm giving, and what you will be giving prospects out there, is something that they've never had before. It's like it's so easy. You're going to be giving them just live phone calls. There's nothing hard to explain about this. That's what's really cool about this business model, is that everyone else out there who's trying to cater and service to local businesses, which, trust me, they get bombarded a lot. They're trying to sell AdWords. They're trying to sell SEO. They're trying to sell social media now, especially with what Ty Lopez is bringing onto the world now. All of this kind of stuff, and it's like, they're like, I've been messed over so many times. It's like, oh, here comes somebody who says, I just want to give you a lead.
Yeah.
And if you call them back and treat them good, I'll give you another one. And they're like, what the fuck? and that's how easy it is, okay? So it's such a simple, clean, nice little tidy business model that you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic way to monetize as well. I mean, what I do, Chris, is I rank a site, and then I've got to go out and find a client, and then the good aspect to that is that I get paid monthly from the client. But with what you're doing, you don't even have to do any of that. It's even better. It's an even better business model, if I'm honest. From what I'm teaching, So guys, just bear that in mind. This is, if you want passive income, where you don't have the headaches of having to even deal with clients. And I'm talking about having to deal with them each month and keeping the sites ranked, etc. And you've still got to relate and then speak to the clients on emails, etc. You don't have to do it with this way of monetizing. So keep that in mind as well. This is just blowing my mind. It's fantastic, to be honest. It really is.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, and the thing is that as being part of the Callzoo family, I mean, the staff, myself, our other on-staff coaches, they're all salaried on here. They just enjoy what they do on this end of it, and the thing that's amazing is, like, training's fun, the Facebook is good, it's all informative, But you come out to one of our, look, we got a live event coming up. I said two. We always over deliver. We've had four this year already. Okay, we had one in Barcelona. We have another one coming up next week in Vegas. That one's already booked up, by the way. It's free to all members. It's booked up. And then we have another one coming up in Bangkok. And some people are like, oh, geez, I've never been outside the country. Well, now's a good time to do it. Oh, it's too expensive. It's not. The plane tickets are really cheap from the United States to Bangkok. And then when she gets there, everything's really inexpensive. It ends up being less than if you were to be in the U.S. and then travel to Vegas for the same 3-day event. Plus, everyone else there is probably their first time outside of the country or in Thailand, and you get this, the learning takes place, and you learn at the fastest rate when you step outside of your comfort zone. And when you're around a group of other people who are doing that, and then you're just around other people who just basically just want to nurture you, grow you, and show you some really cool techniques that they're doing in their business. It's just a really cool atmosphere on that. But you can capture some of that on tape, but you can't unless you go. Anyways, we have 2 of those per year, sometimes more. It's really awesome stuff.
Yeah, and I just want to touch on that as well, that anytime I go to a live event, it just takes your business to the next level. Not just the stuff that you learn, but the people that you meet people at your same, at the same level that you're in, people that are, maybe a little bit more advanced, people that are maybe a little less advanced than you are. And it's just an amazing experience being able to be in the same room with people who are trying to achieve the same thing you're trying to achieve, and you all bounce ideas off each other. And true friendships are built at those live events. So that bonus there is completely invaluable as well. So we've had Jim join us, John, Rod, Beth, Kevin. Thank you guys. Looking forward to seeing you guys succeed.
Somebody's asking if there's 24/7 support, Chris. You might want to answer that as well. I guess the whole community thing is, kind of answering that. That you're there for all of the people long term.
Yeah. No, we are 7 days a week. We are not 24/7. But
you're human beings. People do sleep.
Yeah, we're human beings. But we do stagger the work shifts, so we're like 16 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good.
It's pretty full on, to be honest, isn't it? I mean, a lot of support that. I think people get concerned because a lot of people sell their stuff and then afterwards there's just no support. But it's not like that with Chris, guys. He's got a huge community going on here. It's just success story after success story. I remember going in the group late last year and I was pretty blown away with it all. There's just so many success stories with people who have never even had an income stream before, and they've come in here, they've developed their first income stream, after like 3 or 4 weeks of joining the program and taking action. For me, I mean, it's just surreal. It really is. Hopefully a lot of you guys will come in on this and you'll see it for yourself real soon.
Yeah, we have one of the things that's really good about it is that I think everyone can see who's sat through this. It's a really simple business model. It really takes away all of the fears and anxieties that people may have had about SEO and how to rank on here. I mean, there's nothing sneaky or black hatty about what we're doing. The core concepts of it, about the reason that it works, is because we're ranking after the smaller cities, 50,000 above, that are just surrounded around a major city. We're ranking for all of those at one time. And what happens is those smaller cities, there's no competition there, folks. You've seen that. There's no competition. So you end up, when you put in really high quality content that Google likes on that, and Google recognizes it as unique compared, Chula Vista's content is unique to Escondido, as unique to Vista, as unique to San Diego, as the example that I gave. Google just ranks that stuff with no backlinks. They just totally like that, especially when it's good content. And then remember that local websites, by adding content doesn't mean adding, everyone says content is king. It doesn't mean adding content like I need to add a blog and some extra articles. That's not what local is about, and Google knows that. People go in there to look for a service. They don't look to get educated. That's different. That's like, I'm going to go learn about, how to stop gray hair or something like that. Online, that's going to be educational blogs. Our local sites are different. So Google recognizes that when recognizes extra content as extra cities, and extra cities with unique content compared to itself. And it's like, wow, this is a really good, rich site. And then in the smaller cities, because you're going to rank so fast within like 7 or 14 days in those smaller cities, then you start getting real people crawling your site. And Google's like, wow, it's getting some crawls. This is good. People are visiting the site. Google likes that kind of stuff. You can't fake that. Okay, you cannot fake that with a backlink or something. And then you add on top of that some really good quality backlinks going just to the larger cities of it. And what you'll find more times than not is it just all just starts rising up, and it happens again and again and again. And then there's there's those other poor smucks out there. I feel sorry for them, and they're out there doing the SEO the hard, difficult way. And they're just trying their best to get the best backlinks for the one site, for this one city, and they're just spending all this time, and they're in torture over the Google Dance and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, no, just get out there. You'll be just do one city, 1 to 2 major cities with all the surrounding ones, and we've mapped all of them out for you in the site, by the way, exactly where to start, all that kind of stuff. And you just work through it, and you just do it. And pretty soon, before you know it, you're going to have this website. And these websites, imagine that you've got a website that, and not everyone needs to grow at this level, but you can if you want to. It's certainly available now to anybody. You want to rank a site in 300 or 400 cities in the U.S. I don't care what niche it is. You just create a multi-million-dollar site. Period. And that's, I mean, look at the, I blew you away with kind of maybe some stuff that's a little bit big, but it was kind of a sledgehammer, but the Mr. Handyman domain site, that thing's bringing in, over 75 to $100 million revenue per month. It's insane out of it. And you saw the backlinks and stuff. It's not about the backlinks anymore, guys, okay? It's not that. It's the content, and the content is king. It still is king, but it just takes on a whole new definition here. You got to have the right content on your home pages, and adding more content means adding more cities, because that's what local is about. Local is not about educating and a whole bunch of extra blog pages and all that kind of stuff. It's a complete waste of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to prove that point as well, the site that I mentioned on the Q&A webinar, all I've done is use the automatic syndication that's inside of Serblify. I haven't done any PBN linking yet. It's just been simple social networking backlinks. That's it, and it's already started ranking. So just like Chris said, you only need some good content and a handful of some decent links, and boom, you can get some quick page 1 rankings. So Timothy has joined us, so great to have you on. Sarah as well has joined us, great to have you on. Let's see, there's a few questions that I saw. Sarah's saying, is there training on this? And yeah, I believe there's training as well inside the members area, or called
lots of training.
Yeah, it's a huge
tons.
There's tons of training.
Yeah.
It's huge, step by step, all logical. Do this, do that. Yeah, the thing is,
guys,
as well, people get I'll just chime in on that as well, Joshua. People get too anal with the SEO as well nowadays, and I like what Chris is doing in his approach, because in the end, Google follows people. So if you build your site for the people, and this is even more at play here in the local niches, because you're building for the people even more so, like what Chris is saying, you're not trying to duplicate all of these people, you're just literally building for what people are typing in. If you do that, Google follows people anyway, so you're naturally going to rank. You're not in these big, massive niches like health, where you have to have tons of backlinks to stand a chance. This is a completely different scenario. It's a different landscape altogether, in fact. It's another reason why I love this model in this course, and I know why I was so excited about getting this out to our subscribers, because this is where I would start if I was going back 10 years and I was doing SEO again. I would actually start right here with what Chris has got. Just looking to see if there's any more questions in here as well.
Yeah, Sasiliu is saying, how soon can we start making money? That really depends on you. How quickly you go out there, you put Callzoo into action, you put Serblify into action. How quickly you start making money is all on you. You have the tools, you have everything. It's just time for you to go out there and take action.
The types of niches. The types of niches that you'll be targeting as well, will give you, a much quicker time frame to actually get ranked and start generating an income. Whereas normally I do a lot of general affiliate marketing, and I am in bigger niches like health, and I've got sites on omega-3 and bee pollen, but that took me like 3 to 6 months to rank. This is not the case here because, again, like Chris was saying earlier, the niches, there's just the competition is just it's just not the same. It's not there. So you just go to the top 10 sites in these low competition niches, and all you've got to say is, look at these 10 sites. You just put a better piece of content on your page than what these sites have had. The chances are, like Chris has just demonstrated, you put 1 or 2 links to them, you're going to outrank them all easy. And you build it for the people, you're just going to rank. It's crazy. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, when you come into this CMS screen, you're like, everyone goes after Los Angeles. But what they forget, and there was just somebody in the chat in our Facebook group the other day who did this, and they were shocked because they started going, Santa Monica, Inglewood, Hawthorne. They started going after all these others on here, and then you take Los Angeles, that's where everyone's going after, but none of the surrounding cities on here, which outpopulate on here. Now remember, Google, look, if someone is over here in Hawthorne and they're typing something in, and they're at home or at work, their IP address lets them know they're in Hawthorne. Guess what Google's going to do? It's going to give them results in Hawthorne, okay? And everyone's going after Los Angeles. It's super, super crowded on here. And literally within a week or two, the member was like, hey, I'm ranking in every suburban area outside of Los Angeles. And it's actually bigger than this. Los Angeles is a monster area on here. But it's like we've mapped out the entire U.S., everything on here. So it's like everyone, they go Seattle, they all go after Seattle, but they forget all these other areas around here. This is where, these are the forgotten cities that you're going to rank for. Super easy. And when you do rank for them at the same time, it'll take and help because of people searching, and you're drawing customers in, and they're coming in here, they're going to Renton and Kent and Auburn. It's all on the same master domain site on here. They're like, well, okay, let's give Seattle a little boost on here. And it's just, we've ranked out all these things on here. When you start doing this, it really becomes easy. So you just kind of get in a pattern where you said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to focus in 2 to 3 hours a week on this. And at the end of 2 or 3 hours a week, I'm going to have 1 to 2 larger cities and all the smaller ones, because all the process is here on that. And I'm going to build a real business doing this. So I just want to point that out, like my old stomping grounds in Phoenix on this end of it. Everyone goes after Phoenix, but they forget about Peoria, Surprise, Goodyear, Glendale. You add up these outside lying cities, which everyone else forgets about. The population is usually 1.5 times larger than the major city name that people recognize in. It's like I can't believe people miss out on this stuff. And I hope I've demonstrated enough proof to get people excited to get off the fence here, because the price is ridiculous. What should really get you going on here is the real opportunity on this end of it, and and the team that's going to be sharing and showing this with you. We're not actors. We're not an actor basketball player in here. We're real players. We play in it, and this is what we do every day. So if you got questions, concerns, or whatever, it's nothing we haven't already done before and dealt with. So it's just a nice opportunity, and it's just so much fun to meet with people a couple times a year as a group, and you get other people that come up on stage and they're like, they added a little twist or something to it, or they're just doing exactly the same model, but it's just fun to hear it. Oh, okay. Because sometimes you just need to hear it. Sometimes you just need to see someone else. It's like, oh, okay, he can do it. I can relate to him or her. That kind of gives me permission to do it. Sometimes we're just that way, and I totally get that on that end of it on here. But really, I mean, if you're sitting on the fence on this end of it, and I know a lot of people sit on the fence to like protect themselves. It's like, okay, I'm going to sit on the fence here and look at this, and I'm going to try to find reasons not to buy it. I'm going to find reasons. I put in different words. I'm going to find reasons. I'm going to pretend to play when I'm actually playing not to lose. It's a huge difference on that end of it. I know people have been burned out there and stuff like this, so you're protective, so you want to play not to get hurt, but don't mistake that with, playing, not to lose, which means you're just stuck in the same position where you are right now. This is the real deal. Of course, it's got 30-day guarantees, all that kind of stuff, but it really all this needs is for you to come in and just take some action. That's it. There is nothing complicated about it, but there is no push button stuff out there. I mean, you've got to run a business. You've got to do the work. You do the work. You have the rewards. I think you can all clearly see how simple this whole business model is on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard is asking if you can please quickly go through everything they're getting one last time.
Oh yeah.
It was a bit too much to take in the first time around. Yeah, it is a lot, Richard. I know it's a lot, so he's asking a recap of what they're getting.
Yeah, let's do that. I probably should have done that already. So where are we over here?
And Steven's joined us. Machika's joined us as well. Great to have you on, guys.
Quick question, Chris, just before you do that. Somebody's asking if this is the full package that was offered last year at $997. Do you want to clarify this? Because there's a couple of people who think that this is kind of like, not the full package, but it is. I mean, they get access to everything plus the training as well, right? It's like a special price.
Yeah. Yeah, this is super, like, you want to get the, look at the timer on the screen. You want to get this now. So this is like, and when I introduced this, as far as the price goes, it was like it hasn't been this low in over 3 years. So look, so let's recap what you're getting in this Innovo. So basically this is it, right? Look, we're providing 12 ways to personally ensure that you are totally succeed. So this ridiculously low price on here for the upfront, and then your subscription on this, and this is what you're getting. This number one, you could just totally make up your money 10 times just by this right here. We provide unlimited, high quality private blog domains, and basically these are domains that on the open market would be, you'd pay $40, $50, $100, $200 for. High trust flow, good backlinks, all the good stuff that you look for in them. It's just that my engineers have developed a software system that scrapes out and finds the ones that you can just buy for whatever they are, brand new, like .com, $9.99. Super simple on that. There's no waiting, there's no bidding, nothing. Same with the Web 2.0 sites, except you don't have to buy them, right? Those are free. They're already hosted and everything. And we provide those unlimited. So your backlinking stuff is taken care of. And then on top of that, to add a couple more logs and a can of gasoline to the fire on here, will give you access to our private backlink exchange group. And all they do, they're the same group of people that are trained exactly how to build these quality sites on here, these backlinking sites, and then you can exchange it. So it's kind of cool. So it's kind of like you build. Let me show you how the leverage here of this is. If you have one private blog network and you build it out exactly how we teach, you have a nice quality one, and then you've got a good article on there, and your next one has got an outbound link to your money site. If you, at that point, that's one site you've built out. If you then go and exchange out 4 links, you're going to get 4 different links from 4 different sites. That's how powerful that is. So you just got not one, but 5 backlinks, different backlinks that you can point to any money sites that you want, and that diversity is really important. And unless you go out and build 5 other websites and buy 5 other domains, you're not going to get it unless you go to Link Exchange. This is super powerful leverage. Look, I want you guys and gals to succeed out there. So I'll show you step by step in the course how to properly pick out a good profitable niche. Go through the exercise. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to take you got to throw up your sleeve, do a little bit of work. It's going to be well worth it, because you want to start off on the right step. Now, to ensure that there's no one slips through the cracks, just submit that sheet to support. I'm the only one that looks at it. I'll look at it, and I'll give you my 5-6 years experience and go over it. And that stuff you just can't put in a how-to course on that. So it ensures that when you walk away, you know, hey, this niche, I'm good. Now it's just up to me to go out and do the work. We do 2 live workshops per year. It could easily charge $1,000 for a piece of these. There's nothing being sold at these. This is just pure learn from people in the trenches doing it, and then you then repeat while you're there doing it. You don't wait until you get home and do it, because then that never happens, right? Um, on here, our WordPress themes on here. Our WordPress themes are cool. Let me actually show you some on here, and all these are super newbie friendly. So this is a sample site that's made with our domain on here, and anybody, if you've never made a site before, you can make this. It's super simple, and we have every like this site right here is like, you like this site, but you want to apply it to a different niche. You kind of like the look and feel of it and stuff. No problem. There's like 20 little 2 or 3 minute short videos that show you step by step how to take the theme and do everything. Put the number here, change the colors. It's a lot more flexible than what you think other themes are that you may have got. And then you can also go a different model, which is a directory site. I also teach how to do that. This would be like directly with just tattoo companies. This would be a directory site. I'll show you how to do it. It's the same thing on this end of it. It's for a flower shop on here. Anyways, it's super simple, and if there's anywhere that you get stuck on it, it's not like it's just you in the membership area video all by yourself at night going, I'm stuck, what do I do next? Contact our support. Let our support help you out. So let me go back and get to that website here. Where are we? Boom, right there. And keep going through these. 2 coaching calls per month. Instead of it, I always bring on a successful student who just shares what they're doing. Sometimes they're just sharing, they're doing exactly what's in the course, but that's okay. Sometimes we just need to hear that. Full access to our pay-per-call online software. This is online. You don't have to host it anywhere like other places, none of that kind of stuff. It's just plug and play. It's super simple. There's no limitations, there's no upsells. You're not going to get into it and find out that you got to pay more to get all the features. It's just all there. Number 9 on here, I might regret this later, but please build a nice, good, solid business model. But if you need a little boost to bring in some leads really quick, this is a little hack. You can do it, but it's a hack. But it's a 3-pack without a postcard verification. I see people selling this for a lot more than that, than the value I put there. Access to our private and very active regular Facebook group. We don't do anything about link exchanges in this group. It's all about people posting about success stories, or maybe they've got a question that's kind of unique to the group and stuff, and they ask. There's so much good feedback in there. It's really good. We monitor it well, so the content that's added there is really positive and upbeat. So and the course is complete, but it's just like you have that connection with the Facebook group. It's really good to have that community. Our proprietary method for getting clients on this end of it. I went over it before, so I don't want to go over it step by step again. But the bottom line is, you don't have to do any cold calls. You don't have to send out emails. You don't have to do any paid ads or anything like that. It's a really clever, friendly, easy, just no resistance way to get clients. And the only time it doesn't work is if they don't need leads, and you'll find that out right away. So that's kind of the vetting process in the beginning. And then we hired this big fancy engineer to come in, mathematician and philosopher, and he was able to come in and literally take the content of our home pages and find a certain way so that we could replicate those. We could take one seed article that needed to be at least 800 words. You got to come up with that. And once you come up with that, we'll show you step by step on how to do it. Then you just follow through exactly what the engineer teaches, and you're able to spit that out. So it can take a little bit of work, but it's okay. You'll be done with it in a matter of time, and then all of a sudden you can have a whole pile of content for the next 400 cities. Just like that. And there's no spinner in the world that can do that. This is like way beyond spinner stuff on that. And we looked at building a software for it, but the software system to do it would be just like, it'd be like millions of dollars. So you do it in a manual way to an Excel sheet that we put in there, but the end result is phenomenal. So yeah, that's what you get. When this timer goes away, a lot of the stuff goes away. In particular, right here, this is like no one else has. we could literally start a separate business on just buying domains and selling it. That's just not what we do. We stay focused on what we're experts at. We don't want to dilute our company or focus, but you're going to be able to get access to those on here, but you got to get it during this live webinar on here. And I see a lot of people still in the webinar. It's like, holy smokes, folks. I'm glad you're here, but let me help you get off the fence on here, because if you sit on the fence too long, you just hurt. I mean, just jump off one side or the other, and we'll remain friends no matter what. On that end, or if there's any questions I can ask you, I can answer for you. Let me know, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to fulfill exactly what I promised in the beginning. Was add a lot of value, show you some stuff maybe you've never seen before. I think that's probably the case on here, and it's simple. It's easy to understand, and I want to answer your question. So you got some questions? Bring them on.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we jump into some more questions, I want to throw in one more bonus as well for anyone that buys during the live webinar. Once this live webinar is done, this bonus won't be available anymore. A very, very valuable bonus. So for those of you that have bought, you'll get it, and those of you that buy will get it as well. I'll be throwing in my XRanker 360 webinar. This is a web-based platform that allows you to go out there and rank videos on the first page of Google as well. It also allows you to find high converting keywords within just a few clicks. You can find high converting keywords, create campaigns automatically, all within the software to rank on the first page of Google. And it leverages YouTube live events, so you get that extra boost to get quick ranking. So now you'll be able to not only rent out sites, but being able to rank videos and take up multiple spots on the first page will give you even more real estate on the first page that you can monetize with Callzoo. So that bonus will only be available for those of you that purchase on this live webinar. Once the live webinar is done, that offer will be off the table. So make sure you pick it up right now if you haven't. And everything Chris is offering is already extremely valuable. And then my XRanker 360 web software will make it even better. It'll allow you to not only rank sites with what you're getting with Serverify and Callzoo, but also rank videos on the first page. And the crazy thing about ranking videos, you send 1-2 PBN links that you're getting with what Chris is offering to a YouTube video. I mean, that's all you need to rank YouTube videos because of the crazy authority that they have.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I just chime in on that as well. I actually have a group of 20 private clients that are paying me $997 a month to access one of my blog networks. Now, this is a huge, huge blog network, right? But what Chris is giving here is absolutely ridiculous, guys. You know, keep that in mind. I actually charge $997 a month for the blog network access, and Chris is literally just giving it all away here, you know, tonight. Just to clarify, guys, this offer will still be open for a couple of days after tonight, but this bonus what Chris is giving away here, the unlimited high-quality themed networks, the PBNs, the domains, this is only for, you know, the next hour, like the timer on the screen. That's right, Chris, yeah?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. It's just too valuable just to give away.
It's just insane that bonus. I've never actually seen a bonus as high in value as that on any of the webinars I've run, and I've run a lot over the years. So that's just insane. And thanks for offering that. I would appreciate that for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's some XRanker 360 members already on here. So if you already own XRanker 360, send me an email and I'll send you a list of a few other programs you can choose from. And we can do it like that, but you have to purchase tonight. So if you already own XRanker 360, send an email to my support. And you guys know I have other awesome software as well. So I'll send 2 or 3 options that you can choose from.
Wow, this is turning out to be some amazing value here. I feel like I want to buy, but
I was just about to say, right? Get me the order link. Get the order link on the screen. I need to buy.
Yeah. I mean, I feel good. This is some. I mean, and what you guys are adding on top of this mix is like insane on here, because what Josh's talking about taking more properties and videos and stuff like this. Yeah, absolutely. And what he said about pointing, you know, you point some of these private log networks and some Web 2.0s at these videos, and it's game over. There's some massive synergy and value going on here, guys and gals. So really, I mean, the only reason, if you're sitting on the fence right now, it's just I don't know. I mean, hey, if you're coming in, let us know that you're coming in so we can give you a big shout out and congratulate
Yeah, so just type in "I'm in" the chat box, and we'll do some shout outs. We'll also get the buyers list of Chris, so everybody who buys during this promotion will get that list of Chris, and then somebody's asking about how they get the X-Ranker. We'll give that to Joshua, and he'll basically make sure that everybody gets that access to the X-Ranker as well, just to clarify that as well. All the I am ins, Raymond's in, Rogers in, Andrew's in. Wow, guys, you're making a smart move here, and I'm excited because this is a really fantastic opportunity. It's right place at the right time. I love the whole concept of this as well, because I was talking to somebody, because I do a lot of SEO coaching myself behind the scenes and for all the internet marketing stuff that I do. And there was one guy, and I took him on, and he was going after a term that had 30, I think it was about 30,000 searches a month, and he'd been spending about 8 or 9 months trying to rank for this term. And I literally had to change his way of thinking, and it's really in line with what Chris is doing and what Chris is teaching as well. I said, why are you going after this term that you might never rank for with all this crazy competition and all of these crazy SEO nerds, when you could just go after terms that get, say, 300 searches a month, but rank for 100 of them in like a fraction of the time of trying to rank for this one big term, and get huge return on investment? Because that's the whole point of why we're all here, is to literally get return on our time and to make the money. And that's what this is all about. And I love the whole concept of what Chris has got going down here, with going after that right niche, going after the search terms that don't necessarily get 30,000 searches a month, but they all trickle in, and collectively it adds up, and it gives you a massive payday. And it's all about return on investment, guys. We've got to emphasize the importance of that, because that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And David is saying, I was coming in, but now I am in. Absolutely,
Fantastic.
David. Great decision.
Welcome aboard, man. That's
Joshua, as
awesome.
well, I think we could create like our own little private Facebook group for the buyers of this particular promotion, and try and help support in our way as well, and show how we could use Simplify in conjunction with what Chris is doing and teaching as well. Does that make sense? I think that would be a good idea if we could do that as a bonus as well.
Yeah, definitely. We can do that as well.
Yeah, I've got Eric out there saying awesome idea. Yeah, I think we'll do that as well as a bonus. We'll have like a specialized mastermind group for the people that have bought this, and we'll talk about how to use Simplify with what Chris is teaching, because I've been doing SEO for over a decade, so I know it inside and out, so we can definitely do that.
Man, this is such a screaming opportunity. Holy smoke. It's not that it's just like shiny objects that are like, wow, this sounds really cool. I mean, you're talking about a decade of SEO experience. Look at all the 3 people on the call on here, myself, and honored to be on here with John and Josh, and what they're offering, and myself, and everything combined. This is like, I mean, where else are you going to get this kind of stuff? I kind of feel almost guilty. It's like it's too much giving away. Like crazy. But,
you're not going to get this value for $297 anywhere else on the internet. That's just a fact. There's people who charge $5,000 for this type of value. I know that. That's just a fact. You're just not going to get this for $297 anywhere. You are lucky to be in on this promotion.
And there's still so many people on the call on here. So, I mean, for all of you that are still on the call, I mean, let us know. Are you just hanging out for entertainment purposes? Hey, great, no problem. We're hanging out with friends. I like it. But hey, if you're sitting on the fence and you got a question, maybe you asked it earlier and it gets buried behind a bunch of questions. On this, if you got a question, just like move it right to the front of the line and just type it in there, and let us know, so that you've got our full attention right now. And now would be the time to.
Somebody's a bit upset there. I'd like to talk to him. Hamza is saying we don't have hearts because we're not answering his questions. Really sorry about that, Hamza, and sorry you're feeling that way right now. If you can put your question on the screen, we'll try our best to answer it. What it is that we've got a flood of questions coming in and a flood of comments, and we don't always pick them up. It's just the way GoToWebinar works. So don't take it personally. We are here to try and help you. We sell with value and everything that we do. We're all about giving value. We've got a similar mindset that way, we will try and answer your questions. Just put them in on there. I've got a manager, Lang. If you can hear me, my friend, if you can just try and reach out to that guy who's upset and try and answer some of his questions on the private message as well, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, Timothy is asking, do you teach how to build out the PBN domains?
Yes, there's absolutely nothing that I don't teach on here. Any aspect you can possibly think about what I covered here is in full detail. So yes, we teach step by step of exactly how to build out the domains, everything even from the most basic, which registers to purchase them from, how to build them out, how much outbound links to put in, how much inbound, the content, how quickly you want to do that, the suggested hosting for that. All of that kind of stuff is covered in detail, and it's all based on exactly what we do. So we only teach exactly what we do. So yeah, that's covered. Everything you could possibly think of is covered. It really is a soup to nuts course on here. Just all it requires is that you join, you come in, you take action, you become part of the community, and you just do this step by step. Don't treat it like another shiny object on here, and do this step by step. I mean, I see new students come in and they'll like fast forward like all the way to the end. That's like no, just module 1, go through the steps that are really important, select a niche, let me review it. Okay, you got your niche, now you're ready for step 2, and just chunk it out like that. We're all busy, I understand that. People are in different positions right now. Some of you are working on your own, some of you are in transition of it. But this is something you can do. It's just a few hours per week, literally. But the key is you just got to be consistent at it. Don't. What I see people do is they go something for, they go really good for a couple of weeks, and then they're like, oh, geez, this is kind of like a little work, and then they see a shiny object, and then they're off doing that. On here, this is, you've arrived. Trust me, you've really arrived. This is a really good deal. I wish when I started out that I had run across something like this. It would have catapulted me faster and easier. I didn't have to make so many mistakes. So yeah, it's cool stuff, man, and it's always good to hang out with these guys too. Joshua was out here in Barcelona with his lovely lady.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Time flies, man. Was that like 2 years ago or like a year ago?
Yeah. I think it was 2 years ago now. It'll be 2 years in this coming May, I think.
That's too long. Jeez.
Yeah,
But
we
it
gotta
kind of
make it
seemed like
back over.
yesterday, right?
Yeah, I still remember that whole trip. I still remember exactly the spot we went to go eat, exactly
Yeah.
where we went. Uh,
Me too, me
Larry's
too.
saying, uh, Larry's saying if we have PayPal, yeah, Larry, there should be the PayPal option on the page, so you can just select to pay with PayPal.
Yeah, there definitely
Um,
is.
yeah, and
Somebody's
David
asking,
is saying,
yeah,
people,
somebody's asking for
yeah,
the order link as well. You might want to put that on the screen again, Chris, the order link.
Yep, you
Let's
got
do
it.
that
yeah,
while we're
and
talking.
David is asking PBN domains only during live webinars. So that first bonus that Chris mentioned, where you can get unlimited PBN domains for under $10 most of the time, where they have a software that scrapes for these high quality domains on a daily basis, and you can pick from them, cherry pick from them that you get for under $10. That bonus there is just for those who purchase during this live webinar right now. So that's what that means. On top of the bonus that I mentioned as well, which is my video software, XRanker 360, those two are just for those who buy during the webinar. So hopefully that answers your question, David. William is saying, can I pay without PayPal? Yeah, you should be able to pay with your credit card. If it takes you to the PayPal page, just choose to pay with a credit card instead of a PayPal account. And Michael is saying, is XRanker 360 the pro version? I'll go ahead and throw in the agency version for everyone. So it'll be the agency version that you get.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, that's
You know what?
amazing.
Yeah, let me ask everyone out there. Let me give you a quick pop quiz on this. It's kind of a fun one. What's more expensive? A brand new mansion, brand new sports car, the most expensive one you can think of, or lost opportunity? Lost opportunity is the most expensive. And right now, I hope the remaining people, and there's a lot of them on this call, see this as, look, this is a huge opportunity. If you miss out on this, look, let me tell you about a small opportunity that isn't even a lost opportunity that probably you can all relate to. So I had one of my off-sites. It's a little blog that I run. It has nothing to do with my businesses, but it has a lot of personal pictures and stuff on it and little private, little diary stuff. Anyways, I kept getting the notices in my email box, right? Like GoDaddy, like it's about to expire, about to expire. And I don't put on that auto renew stuff on there. I'm like, I'll get to it later, I'll get to it later. And and well, later it came like really fast, like it normally does. And all of a sudden I went to go access my site and it's gone. So I'm like in a panic, right? We've probably all been there. And then I contact GoDaddy, and it's like, oh yeah, we can give it back to you, no problem. I had to pay like $100 or something to get it back, and it's just like a regular .com site. So, and that's just because I let the opportunity pass me by. So don't let this be a GoDaddy experience for you. You don't need to pay more for this later. You don't want to pay for lost opportunities on here. This is a really very simple decision to make on that end of it, especially with the added bonuses that these guys, who obviously really care about your success, are just throwing in. I mean, this is ridiculous on here. I,
Jarvis is
I,
saying, "Okay, damn it, I'm in." Great, great,
I,
Jarvis. Great decision
yeah,
there. Let's see, guys, and if remember, guys, if you're still on the fence, there's still a lot of you on here. Just post in the chat box that you're on the fence and ask your question. We're here to clear up any questions that you have. I mean, they're really. This is truly a no-brainer offer that you're getting. If you go and you will not see this 297 offer ever again. So make sure that you get this and take action on it. Harold is in, awesome. Milani is in. Awesome. Great to have you guys in. Timothy is in as well. And for those of you asking how you'll get access to the X-Ranker 360 bonus, so make sure once you purchase, just forward your receipt to my support desk at support@zamuraiblogger.com. I'll post it in the chat box. It's support@zamuraiblogger.com, and I'll make sure that you get access to that. And again, if you already own X-Ranker 360, if you don't own the agency package, I'll upgrade you to the agency package. If you do own the agency package, then send me an email to my support desk regardless, and I'll give you 2 or 3 options of some of my other software that you can choose from. That it'll all be relevant to what you can do with Kazoo.
Someone's asking if there's any more other than the 29.99 per month after the initial 297. You want to just clarify that, Chris?
sure. Yeah. Well, there's absolutely nothing else from us. There's no upsells. There's no hidden costs from us. On that. The only other thing are just going to be some real life business expenses, like some hosting and domains. Yeah, that's and action. That's what it takes. So there's nothing hidden here. There's not like
Yeah,
a
just keep in mind as well that if you was to start a business offline, off the internet, a real brick and mortar business, it would cost you thousands and thousands in investment, whereas you can get started for a fraction of the cost online. So keep that in mind as well. So yeah, there will be some expenses, but it won't be anywhere near it would be if you were trying to start a business offline. Some more questions coming in here. Is the PPC training and software also in there?
yes. All the training. This is literally like nuts to suit training. There's nothing left out. Everything from selecting a niche, getting clients, everything. And if we missed anything or the way we explain something is you're not quite sure, that's why we got the support there.
Okay, perfect. Just scrolling up to see, there's a lot of questions that we've missed. I'm just trying to catch a few of them. There's a lot of people still on the call, so there must be people still on the fence. Guys, if you're on the fence for this, if you're thinking about coming in but you're on the fence for any reasons, just let us know. Just put a 2 in the chat box. We can talk a bit more, and if there's any, any objections or anything like that, or there's any reasons why you're hesitating.
Ryan is saying this offer is crazy. Glad I got in. Yeah, absolutely, guys. I'm glad that many of you are able to recognize a great opportunity when you see it, and this is one of those. This is one of those where it doesn't come around that often.
That's right, yeah.
Adrian just got in as well. Awesome. Mark is asking, can you please extend this offer for 24 hours? I don't have a credit card. Yeah, so this offer will be available for a few days. Remember, those 2 bonuses are for those that do take action tonight.
Yeah, strictly for tonight on those 2. William's just got in. Congratulations, William. Wilma, congratulations. Lee's saying the system won't take a Visa card. It should be fine. The checkout, it's been tested. Try PayPal.
Just to be, yeah, just to be completely fair on here, for people who are having issues, whatever they is with the checkout. So I know someone said with their Visa, they're trying to get it right now. I want to recognize and honor that. So if you just take a screenshot of the error that you got and you just show on your screen like the time in the upper right hand corner, that way I know that you were really trying. You got an error because something probably beyond your fault. And then just send that in to support@callsme.com, and then my team will work with you, and we'll see what we can do to get through it. But I don't want you to be penalized because of some credit card processor.
Yeah, that's very fair, Chris. Appreciate that. Emil's just came on and asked if there will be a replay. For anybody who's just come on here and they got on late for whatever reason, yes, we will be getting a replay out of this. Again, all the bonuses that we've been talking about, PBM bonus, they won't be offered, but the special's still going to apply. We're not going to bump up the price or anything like that. And we will email this out as soon as we get that recording up.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll probably email it out and post it in the members area just below where we posted the Q&A session. It's on the tutorials page in the members area.
Yeah, there will be a close though. When we close it down, you won't be able to get access to this again, especially not at this price. This is just like a one-time opportunity, one-time special that Chris has done for our subscribers.
Absolutely.
Guys, I think I'm going to head off and leave you guys to talk. It's it's 2 a.m. here and I'm up with the kids, 4 children at like 5 a.m. in 3 hours time, so I need to try and get some beauty sleep. I just want to thank you, Chris, for coming on here. It's been a pleasure and it's been a great webinar. Thanks, Joshua, and I'll speak to you soon. Alright guys, I hope everybody who's sitting on the fence comes and listen to anything else Joshua and Chris has to say, because it is such an opportunity that does not come around often. And I say that from the bottom of my heart. Thanks guys, good night and God bless.
Good night. Thank you.
So for those of you that are still on, it's just me and you.
Yeah, it's just me and you, buddy. Yeah, we're closing it up here, just you and I. And then the thing is that what's just nutso about this is that there's still so many people on the call, and I'm refreshing my screen on here. I'm still seeing people coming in who are getting this and taking on this, and it was just so many people in here. Once you get in, just say you're in, so we can give you a big shout out on this end of it. I've seen 1, 2, 3.
Absolutely. Emily is saying again, what is the cost? It's $297 and then a small $29 per month fee. So it's a massive discount because, like Chris said at the beginning, he usually sells this for much more. And I remember when I saw you sell this on stage a few years ago. I mean, you sold it way more expensive than this.
Oh yeah, that was in that was at the Warrior event.
Yeah.
You remember that? What happened when I was like talking about it, and it was like when I said, okay, so if you're ready to do this, come off the stage here. We'll go over to the right-hand side of the table. Here it is, like the whole audience just like,
Yeah, it
this
was
is
a
like,
stampede,
no,
man. I remember that.
yeah. Yeah, that was $997, and I can't remember what the monthly was, but it was a lot higher. So, and the course has improved since then because we just keep updating it because that's what we do in real life in the business of it. It just gets updated because things change. But yeah, so I mean that's no joke. It'd be fun. I wish I had some clips of that. It'd be fun so people could actually see on that. But yeah, look, you're on the fence on this end of it, worried, unsure, whatever, let us know. We're here to answer the questions for this.
Chris is asking to go over the bonuses one more time. So there's over
Sure.
12 different bonuses. So before we jump into that, let me see if Richard's question is a little bit quicker. If you want, do your operators handle the prospective client signing up when he wants to keep getting leads for a fee, or do I handle them signing up? I believe you're the one that takes care of the signing them up, and then Callzoo automates the charging and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's basically it right there. I mean, at the end of the day, we're not going to operate your business for you. We're going to show you step by step of how you can do it, how we do it, and how others do it. So you've got examples and support all around you. So you just need to do the action for it, and then in a bit. But yeah. So anyway, so here are the 12 bonuses. This is, first of all, you're getting a huge, huge discount up front. It's ridiculous. The price literally has not been this. I said the beginning, I call it 3 years, but it's actually been longer than 3 years. It's been over 4 years. The price has never been this low. So these are, and every one of these bonuses on here is not like a fluffy bonus. This is designed specifically to make you succeed on here. So again, the unlimited, high quality private blog network domains. These are domains that would normally, you buy them on the regular auction sites and stuff, anywhere from $50 to $200 to $300, and you're getting them at cost as though it was a brand new site that had no juice or anything to it. So if a .com is $9.99, that's what it costs, and then you own it on that. To further help you out here, the unlimited Web 2.0 domains on here, all of them are at least a 25 or higher through Moz Domain Authority. And these you don't have to buy any hosting or anything. These are 100% free. You combine these two together, plus the third bonus on the end of it is getting access to our private blog network link exchange group, where all they do is just link exchanges. There's nothing else going on there. And the people are just like you. They've got quality stuff, and they're not looking to create bad backlinks to their viable money sites on this end of it. So it's a really good, safe place to be. To make sure that you start off and be the most successful on here, I'm going to personally, after you go through Module 1 and complete that, submit that to support@callzoo.com, and I'll personally go through. You'll see I type like a whole page and a half of notes and stuff on your sites, and it's just like, look, it's just I can give you step by step exactly how to go and find a good niche, but I can't teach you my 5 or 6 years of experience. You just have to live it. So the second best thing I can do is personally look over your niches. Sometimes I go over the 3 and I go, look, I'll be honest with you, I know you put a lot of work into this, but this is why this one is not going to work on here. This one might, but here, let's go this route instead. Get right back to me with a new list. But the thing is that I want you to start off, you don't want to get all this work and create a site and know you got a crummy niche on the end of it. I do 2 live workshop events. These are 3 days. These are taught by myself, the head coaches, and the staff at Callzoo. No one else. There's nothing to be sold. You just got to get yourself out there. You're going to learn stuff and be surrounded around like-minded people. It's really the most invigorating thing that members do is they come out and they get face-to-face with people. It's really amazing. We like them so much that we say 2, but we actually do more. But we're just sticking to 2 on here for the record. Full access to our pay-per-call WordPress theme. It's not like any other WordPress theme. This is a really good quality one. Very, very easy, newbie friendly. Even if it's not, if you don't think it's newbie friendly, then that's what we got our support for. They'll totally help you out. I mean, these people that are helping you out, they know this stuff inside and out. They're total experts. I do 2 coaching calls per month. And these run around 2 hours, and I usually will bring on successful students, sometimes two, and they'll just share what they're doing. It's just great to hear from other people in the community what they're doing. Full access to obviously our online software. I could easily come on here and just talk only about the software and just sell the software itself, but I wouldn't be doing anybody justice. What I'm really worried about with everyone in here is that we're showing you clearly how to generate traffic, we'll show you how to rank these sites so easily, and then how to get clients. Those are the two things. Once you have traffic and you have clients, you got a business. You need some software to help you run it more efficiently, and that's where that comes into play. This number 9 here is just a little bit of a hack on that of it. It's getting the Google 3-pack without a postcard. And stuff that can help you get just some extra leads, but it's just a hack on here. So I really would have you rather focus on building a sustainable long-term business on here. But it's kind of fun, and I know some people need it right away, so I get that. Access to our private and super active other Facebook group has nothing to do with backlinks, but just running the business. Hey, I'm really successful. Hey, I just ranked, 14 suburbs in the LA area. This kind of stuff that kind of keeps you going, and a lot of good discussion going on there too. And then our proprietary method for getting clients. You don't have to call them. There's no emails. There's no paid ads. Nothing like that. We have U.S.-based call centers you can totally plug into. They're less expensive than any overseas one and 10 times more highly effective. And then lastly, a couple of years ago, I spent a ton of money and hired a really smart engineer, mathematical and philosophy major, and he kind of cracked the code for creating some really good sites on here. This is an image right here that's kind of a little geeky on here, but like in this site in here, the site is ranking in a little over 400 cities, but we see color-coded here. Like you turn over to this kind of red color means that 57 words here are matching with this article. This is on the same website, by the way. So this particular URL is in South Bend. That's in Oregon, and then this one in here, where the heck is it? In Indianapolis somewhere. On that, but it's 1,000 words on here, so it's less than 5%. It's 95% original on here, but this is very complex stuff. It's not like you can go through. You can never get a spinner to do this. And what's the other option? You're gonna create 300 or 400 homepage articles one by one. That's a nightmare. So this is the practical way to do it. And then I also shared on here, for some of you who are late on this end of it, is I came in here, and this is just the last few sites. This is something we just recently did, and this is what I was talking about. Everyone goes after San Diego, which is fine, but what about all the surrounding cities right around San Diego? The Oceanside, the Vista, Carlsbad, Chula Vista on here. These 6 cities here will rank in a week or two with no backlinks. And they'll actually help rank San Diego. Now everyone else is going after San Diego. So if we look at this is the total on here. So the grand total from the time we started this is $5,000, just around $5,700. That's all of these cities. But if we just look at San Diego, what you'll find out here is that San Diego only brought in $1,400, where all those other cities that rank really super easy with no backlinks, they're bringing in $4,000. So they're bringing in obviously way more, and that's what everyone's missing out on. And by these other cities on here, then Google looks at this and they go, hey, look, Vista's getting a lot of crawls on their website, and this is all in one domain, right? And these are on the root domain, and it says, okay, well, obviously a lot of other people are voting with their searches, so let's go ahead and take San Diego and raise it up a little bit. And you have to send some backlinks to San Diego. Now we sent 2. Okay, so we have 2 backlinks total on this, and everything that it's bringing in may or may not sound like a lot. In the last 30 days, $1,000. 2 backlinks. I mean, it's super simple on here, and you can just spread this out and do this all throughout the U.S. Whether you're in the U.S. or not. I'm not in the U.S. I'm sitting in Barcelona right now. My entire staff is they're in Asia. They're not Asia, and and Romania. Great engineers in Romania, by the way, on here. So this is super easy to do on that. And then I kind of walked you through here, and I showed you, for somebody that showed up late, I showed you some actual case studies on here. This porta potty site's ranking over 400 cities, like Porta Potty Orlando, and it's following the exact same thing. So it's right up, where is it? Porta Potty Orlando, Porta Potty Pros, right here, and then here's the Majestic backlink report. There's 0 backlinks to it. And I just kept going down the line. It gets kind of ridiculous on here. And this is San Jose. San Jose proper is almost 200,000 on that, and that's a good city to be in, anywhere that you're ranking. And here we are, and again, we don't have any backlinks. We're doing it the easy way. If we send some backlinks, we'd be up on #1 right away, but we're like out to blanket the whole U.S. Then we fast forwarded because everyone was like, well, maybe that's an easy such. But you can look at Mr. Handyman, Mr. Handyman site, which is generated for the best, actually the article that I got online, between $75 and $100 million per month. And it's on the same exact pattern. Handyman, this is Naples, so you're going to be 0 backlinks on this. Okay, one backlink. And then this is Orlando, making around 5, doesn't matter. On here, it's probably going to be 1 or 2, or 1 backlink on it. So that's the way that goes. And it's really a good business. It's really, really a good, simple, basic business model that just kind of dispels all the crazy SEO stuff that people are being fed out there, and people don't spend enough time on the content. But the content can take a lot of time, so we show you step by step exactly how we do it, how you can take that content, get a good seed article, and then just once you have that out of the way, just take a couple of days and you use it for the life of your site. Just that home page for all the homepage sites on here in all the cities. It really doesn't get much easier. Let me go back to the slides on here and see where we are with that. And then the other thing that was on here, and I thought this is kind of important on this end of it, is and John was generous enough to kind of point this out in the beginning on this end of it, is that who would you want if you wanted to learn how to play basketball really good? Who would you hire? Would you hire the actor on your left-hand side, or would you hire somebody who actually is a player, who actually plays on the field and does that for a living? Obviously, you'd want to hire somebody who does that, and that's what you're getting here. Unfortunately, in this industry, there's a lot of actors, and that was my whole point with that end of it. So, and then, we have a fantastic software called Zoo. It's very well known, but we don't even think of ourselves. We don't think of ourselves as a software company because that's not what we are. We're in the lead gen business. That's what we do. But I gave this example earlier on here. On this, I have 2 really nice cars. Obviously, the one you'd want to be driving is the one on the right. And the point on this is that a lot of times people just focus on the software. And you can have some really great software, which we have, but if you don't have traffic and customers, you don't have a business, folks. That has to come first. That's why I've led with that this entire time. How easy it is to get the traffic, and then how guaranteed way to get customers out of it, and then you use the software. Now you got a nice car to drive around. Otherwise, you just got a really expensive hobby on that end of it. So, cool stuff. Wow. Still so many people on the call. It's like
absolutely. So, guys, post your questions in the chat box. Andrew's asking, how much do the porta potty sites make?
Porta potty sites on that end of it. Well, look, the value of that site is easily, and you can go out and plug it into any of these sites to kind of add value. So it's not all accurate, but it would easily be over $20 million on that value, and then the revenue that's bringing in is well over $500,000 a month. Now there's a team behind to help that and stuff, but that's just that's what happens when you're in when you're in over 400 cities and you're just covering all the population. You're not just like I have to rank in Houston only, #1 goal. I see a lot of people get caught up with that. I mean, just you take a look at the map of Houston and all the surrounding cities that are there, and you got to understand, it's like, Google has been all about local since day one. They're very clear about that. I mean, imagine the day if you were in the boardroom of Google and someone in there, some young executive came in and said, you know what, we gotta buy like $1 billion worth of cars with cameras, and we gotta literally photograph the entire world so we can put it on Google Maps. Can you imagine how crazy that must have sounded? There must have been a lot of pushback, but enough people said yes. And how ambitious is that? And they're so into local. So when I tell you that if you're, everyone's going after, say, San Diego, that's the sample start I just gave now, and you're in Chula Vista, which is just a couple of miles away. If you're in Chula Vista and you're typing for something local, Google knows by your IP address that you're in Chula Vista, so it wants to give you the best results. So it's going to give you whatever you're looking for locally in Chula Vista. And if one of those is one of your lead gen sites that's targeted for Chula Vista, guess what? You're going to show up. And that's just really how dead simple that kind of stuff is. So
here's a great question. Can we sell the domains that we can buy? I just want to make my investment back ASAP. Yeah, I'm assuming that if any domain that they buy from the first bonus they're getting, they can do whatever they want with them once they buy them, right?
they can do whatever they want. I just want to caution people. Our procedure, and it's clear once you get in, is that we give out 4 at a time. And because we just don't want people to abuse them. Whatever, you take 4 and you build them out, right? You build them out, build them into private blog network sites, and then come back and ask for 4 more. As quickly as you can build those out, come back and get 4 more. As quickly as you can build those out, get out 4 more. And the reason we do that is only because we just don't want people coming in and saying, I want 20 and I'm going to come back tomorrow and get 20. I mean, if you can actually build out and show us you can build out those 20 sites, well, God bless you, then I'll give you another 20. There's no problem with that. But, that bonus is designed to help yourself out, and it's optional, but to also help the community out, be a part of the community. Get in the Facebook. It's just for the backlink exchange. Become a part of that. You'll all grow and leverage together that much faster if you do that. That bonus was not designed to come in, get a whole bunch of websites, and then turn around and put them on Flipper or something like that. I just want to be straightforward about that. And that's more short-term thinking, anyways, on that end of it. And I'm not harping on whoever suggested that. I'm not like pointing you out like you're bad, you're short-term thinking or whatever. I understand you want to make your money back right away. I totally get that, but it's the people who make the most money are always the ones who are thinking not about tomorrow and not thinking about what they can feed their mouths with tomorrow, but it's a little bit more long term. This is a fantastic business model. It's got all the tools and the support there into it. If you're just looking for that quick, how can I just get tomorrow? That's not what we give those domains away for on the end of it. But we give them away according to those guidelines. So if you can do that, and what you do with them after you've built them out, they don't need to be like these full huge sites. It's just you'll see the guidelines. It's in Module 7. It's perfectly set up to rank your sites, go in and give some backlink exchange, or do whatever you want with them. Or if you got clients that you want to rank sites for, we know people that do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Timothy is asking roughly how much can a single individual make using the system. Again, that's a very, it depends on you type of question. It's all going to come down to how quickly you take this and run with it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, everyone that has purchased so far is going to make a different amount. Some of you are going to go out there and just completely crush it. Some of you are going to make, however much you want. Some of you may be happy making, $100,000 a year, or some of you may be happy making $300,000 a year. Some of you may want to make $10 million a year. So it's all going to come down to how much action you take, what kind of goals you set for yourself. and all that stuff. So that's really up to you, Timothy. If you want to set a goal to make $1,000 a month by the end of this year, stick to that goal and make that your goal. Don't worry about what other people are making, because I see that happening a lot where, especially on Facebook and things like that, you see people making a certain amount of money and you let that kind of get to your head and, oh, I'm not making, $10,000 a month. This isn't working for me. But everyone goes through the online world at a different stage, at a different speed. So it all really depends. Don't base your results on someone else's results. Just focus on you, focus on your business, and make sure that you're getting the results that you want to get.
Yeah, and not, you can't hire somebody to do sit-ups and push-ups for you. You can't outrun complacency on that end of it. One thing that's for sure, I think Joshua answered the question really well. I just want to add to it, is one thing is for sure, one thing is guaranteed: if you don't take action, how fast you'll make something is how fast you'll make nothing. You'll just make nothing like right away. So from the very beginning, I've never shown or presented this as like, in 7 days you're going to make blah, 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 and then, all that kind of stuff. But the model's solid. It's solid. It's a good business model. It just applies that you work at it, and you just keep working at it, and things are going to happen on that end of it. So I hope you can respect, how we're trying to answer that question on that end of it, and we're not trying to steer anybody in the wrong direction. And everybody wants to set expectations correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a question here from Richard. Chris, do you recommend leasing the site monthly or charging per lead? How do you recommend we respond to a prospect questioning whether he gets exclusivity to the leads?
Great questions.
So
someone's really thinking about that. Yeah, so the first one, there are 3 ways that Callzoo in which you can automate the billing. One is a flat rate. Let's go flat rate model. That's easier. Okay, that's fine. You can have them prepay, and then if they prepay like $1,000, then each lead you're charging $20 per lead, then it just gets taken off in real time. When it reaches a certain amount on that, the threshold can be 400, 500, or 200. It just depends on whatever you want to set it at. That's when it automatically starts emailing and texting out your client, hey, you need to top back up to whatever the original amount was before they, long before they're going to run out. So either one, all 3 of those models work fine. There's also the you pay after they've received the leads on that end of it. So either way is fine on that end of it. Regardless, if you do the flat rate, which is fine, I would still recommend that you give your client access to the back end of the software so that they can actually see the calls that are coming in, that they could listen to them if they want to, so that they can add some kind of ROI and value. So they know exactly what they're getting. It's like, hey, I'm paying X amount a month, but just curious, how many calls am I getting? And also it's good for you too, because if the client ever questions it, or they say, we don't want to do this anymore, well, why not? And you just log into the back of the account, and you can see, well, geez, we're delivering you some good calls last month. I noticed they came in during business hours. Some of them came during business hours, and you didn't answer like 30% of them. What's up with that? Did you know that? There can be a lot revealed there. So, but either model works. There's not one that's better than the other on the end of it. Now, me personally, in my business, we've evolved to the point to where we just do purely, you're going to pay up front. It's like topping up on a credit card or topping up on a phone, on a prepaid phone. You're going to top up. You're going to get it slowly taken out as it comes in real time. It hits a certain threshold, and then the system starts asking for payments to top it back up. And that way we're always ahead of the game. And that's the way we do it, and it works out really well. So you may want to take a look at that model as well. But it depends. I mean, you could also go with the flat model rate as well. Just if you go the flat rate model, make sure that your clients are clearly aware of the value that they're getting, and that they can track it. So it's not just like, I wonder if I'm getting any calls. And there's a lot of little bells and whistles in the systems you can do to let them know that. You can have a little private pre-recording before the call actually connects, like, hey, this is a call from Callzoo, or this is a call from whatever your business name is. And like, oh, okay, so this call is coming from him. This is what I'm paying that flat rate for. Okay. And it's just a short little 5-second message, and then the live customer connects, so they know. So there's little things you can do like that.
Perfect. Jason is asking. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I'm asking. Jason is asking, have you sold an entire master domain site before? So I guess have you sold one of these sites before?
No, and we could, for sure. The reason myself and my business partners have decided not to at this time, it's kind of like, I'll give an example. If you've got a rental property, you could sell it, and it went up in value, you could sell it all right now and get a big chunk of change, or you could look at what you're getting monthly revenue from it and expand it over the next 4, 5, 10 years. And for us, it's just more value. We're not looking to do that, but you definitely could. There's no doubt about it.
Perfect. Jeff is asking, can the client change any settings in the Callzoo backend, or only to monitor and listen to the calls?
You can change a lot of the issues and a lot of stuff in the back end. We've just found over time that we need to. It's like we've had niches before where the type of calls that come in, it's kind of difficult to kind of screen them out. So we created a feature in there, and it was for us, but it works for everybody now really well. And that is, you can set when that call is going to actually count as a paid call. So maybe it'll be like after they've talked for 60 seconds or after they've talked for 30 seconds. And that gives them time to either quickly screen out a client or get rid of people who are calling in, maybe telemarketers and stuff like that. It's usually never an issue. I'll tell you that probably 90% of our customers, we don't set that. It's just like when the minute that rings, whether you answer it or not or whatever, you're paying for that lead on that. But you can adjust that. You can adjust the prices. There's a lot of other features I haven't talked about. It's just like you got to get these sites up and ranking. You got to get customers first before you can really apply this software.
Yeah, I think his question was more towards, can the client. So the client can't change anything. You're the only one that's in control of what goes on, right? The person that owns calls it.
Yeah.
Okay,
All they
perfect.
can do is just visually view it. That's it. They can't actually change anything.
All right, perfect. And someone is asking, is your top-up model clearly laid out in the training? And yeah, right, all of that it's in part of the training.
Yes, it's all clearly laid out.
Perfect. So if you're wondering what Chris just mentioned a few minutes ago about how he's charging clients now, all of that's inside the training. And Richard's got another question. How do you respond to a prospect questioning whether he gets exclusivity to the leads?
Oh yeah, I forgot the second half of that. Sorry about that. Thanks for the reminder. Well, basically the call, I mean, there has to be a level of trust going on here, right? And it's like it's a live call from a person that's calling off of a website. It would be pretty hard if it was shared. I can see how you could share an email, but I don't know how you could share a live call on that. But they are exclusive, and it just comes down to trust. I mean, that's never been an issue with us. It's like, are these shared calls? It's like, no, they're just going to you. We're just,
Yeah,
you know,
and
we can't
if he answers the call, I mean, he's gonna clearly know if the person's talked to someone else before or not.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty straightforward on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the person is picking up their phone and they're dialing the number. It's not,
Yeah.
they're very hot leads.
Jerry is asking about other options. And guys, if you're still having issues paying with any other option besides PayPal, or having issues with credit card, remember, just take a screenshot of the issue you're having, send it to Chris's support email so that we can make sure that we know that you were trying to purchase tonight, and then we'll get you taken care of. But his support desk is support@callzoo.com.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, definitely I'll do that.
And post your last questions here, guys. We're going up on 2.5 hours. I'm sure that Chris's vocal cords are about to blow out. I want to respect his time as well and your time as well, being on here 2.5 hours. We still have a good amount of people on here, so I say we'll take about 5 more questions. So if you have any final questions about getting started with this offer, post it in the chat box. Remember, you have until tonight, until once we get off of this call, to take advantage of that first bonus plus my bonus, which is X-Ranker 360. You have until we get off of this call to take advantage of that. And then the overall offer will still be available for the next few days, but to get access to those unlimited PBN domains, you have until we jump off plus my bonus. So if you have any last questions, post them. Lowell is asking for the order page again. It's on the screen, and I'll send it in the chat box as well. Oops, let me copy the right link. All right, sending it off to everyone. So I just sent the link again to everyone in the chat box. So make sure you go ahead and purchase. We will be jumping off here within the next few minutes. So if you have any final questions, post them, and we will make sure we take care of. Jean is saying, or Jean or John is saying, thanks to Chris and Joshua for your generosity. Awesome, great. Thank you, and glad that you enjoyed the training. Kevin is saying, thanks for hopping aboard. Yeah, absolutely. Kevin is saying, great, I'm off to buy. Thanks, guys. Awesome. Chris, here's a good question. Chris, would I need my own website to facilitate selling my leads to prospective clients?
No, you don't need your own website to do that. The clients are purely, the way that a unique way of getting your clients is basically it's results in advance. And it's a very kind of non-salesy way that we do it. We're just having our U.S. call centers call the prospects that you want with your live lead on that, and they get 1 or 2 of those, and as long as they call back or email you back as another option within an hour or so, giving the lead, let you know that they contacted the customer, you know they're taking care of the leads. At this point, they're 9 times out of 10 they're asking, can I get more? Where can I get more of these leads? How do you get these leads? This kind of stuff. So it really turns the tables. It's a very unique kind of system. Yeah.
Perfect. Joanne is saying thank you. You guys rock. Awesome. Thanks, Joanne. Some of you are saying that the link is not clickable. So if the link doesn't work from the chat box, just look on the screen and you'll see that the URL is learn.callzoo.com/Surplify half off. Okay, so if you can't click on it for some reason, write this down right now in a notepad. Look at the screen. The URL is learn.callzoo.com/Surplify half off. Write that down on a notepad because once we jump off here, we won't be around to give you that link anymore until we send out the replay. But make sure you write it down. If for some reason it's not clickable, you can type it in manually into the browser. All right, so let's see. I think we've answered about 2 or 3 questions. So I'll take 2 more questions and then we can go ahead and call this a night. Donald is still having issues because you're on the phone. Take a screenshot of the screen so you can save the URL, and then once you get home and you get in front of a computer, you can write out the URL. Erica is saying, dying to know about this will be the last question. So, dying to know about the phone numbers. Will we be paying for 400 numbers for 400 cities? That will be a minimum of $400 to $500 a month. Yeah, I believe so. But here you're looking at your expenses. But imagine if you're ranking in 400 cities, I'm sure you should be making way more than $400 to $500 a month. So don't worry. I'm telling you, if you're ranking in 400 cities, you should not be worrying about a $400 to $500 bill. Eric.
You're going to be making, if you're ranking in that many cities, you minimum $100,000 a month. Minimum. Yeah, so it's not like that at all. So,
And if
Yeah, I
and if
mean,
not, if you want, I'll pay your $400 monthly bill, and then you can just give me back, I don't know, 2,000 from your profits.
yeah, I gave the example of the sites we just recently ranked. I just kept the niches stuff hidden, but we just ranked those 7 sites, the 6 surrounds San Diego. So, that's actually not all those. A lot of those are the same phone number on that end of it. And let me just show you that really quickly for the person who's asking. Although, let's see. So if we come in here and we just look at, come back up to the state of California and San Diego. See, we've done all this work for you. If you come down here, so you look like this down here. This is area code 760. Oh, look, Oceanside is 7602. Oh, look, Carlsberg is 760. So that's only that's one number for 3 on here, and the number's only $1 a month. Okay, and on that, and that's one number for these 3 cities on here on that. So maybe maximum 4 numbers at $4 a piece, and they're only 1 cent a minute. I mean, it takes a lot of minutes to even crank up $1 on those. And those sites already showed you the income are just those areas are over $1,000, a little over $1,000 a month.
Yeah,
And our phone bills are probably $10 a month, so it's ridiculous.
yeah. And Erica finally got it too. She's like, you don't add the number until it ranks. I get it now. Yeah. So that's the other side of it as well. So there's no point of doing anything of trying to monetize it because, like Chris said, you get the traffic first, and then once the traffic's there, boom, you can pretty much do whatever you want once the traffic's there. Let's see. It pays for. Richard is saying she pays for Callzoo to make those calls just until she lands a client, after which they don't call prospect for that city and she starts making big bucks. Yeah, exactly, Richard. That's exactly what we're saying. Perfect. Awesome, guys. So, Chris, that'll be the last question. I know you've been on here for 2.5 hours. I've talked on a webinar for 2.5 hours, and I know what it can do to your voice. So, thank you for spending time on here with us. Thank you for everyone that's on here. Thank you for those of you that are still on here. And remember, you have until I hit end webinar. Once we jump off, I'll probably leave the screen on with the order URL on here for about 5-10 minutes and then shut it down. And once I shut it down, those 2 bonuses will expire. So thanks, Chris. I really appreciate everything you've shared. I know a lot of people on here appreciated all the content that you shared. Plus the incredible offer that something like this is rare. It's a rare find. And yeah, so thank you. I'll be leaving the screen open for about 5-10 minutes. We'll still answer some questions in private message in the chat box. But Chris, I know you can use a rest on your voice, so thank you for everything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and for everybody hanging out too. This is a joint effort on here. So for everybody who showed up on the call, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. I feel like we've really over-delivered, and I feel really good about that. And that was a team effort on everybody's part, John, Joshua, and myself. So, yeah, this is a good call, man. So, everybody who's on here, hey, take care. Good night. Had fun. Bye-bye.